We back? I ain't got no time for no intros because the grifters are a grifting. In case you missed it, the parents of Nolan Wells came out and did a news conference, and guess who was by their side? Al and Ben. I guess they're being helpful, you know. I guess they just want the best. Interesting. They always find a way. They always find a way. We don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. But they're already fanning the racism flames, child. And shout out to Lawrence for letting me know. It's crazy. They're just going to try to tie in South Carolina, Frisco, Texas, and now whatever part of Mississippi this is. I don't remember. So they got the parents to come out. The parents are out. We're getting right to it because if I have time, I got to finish roasting Generation Z. So don't leave. Generation Z, don't leave because I want to make sure that I roast y'all up if I have time. So they came to New York to have a discussion about nothing more than what they already knew. But you know what, Ben and Al, you came here, in my opinion, for Al. You know Al is in the NY. Al should have known that he was going to jump on this shit. This is perfect. This is a Democrat's dream. This is a Democrat's dream, y'all. And it's just sad that these people going through what they're going through and to be taken advantage of, in my opinion, by these race grifters and hustlers, child. But let's see what they said on no. Let me go to Instagram first. Hold on. Because they want everyone to come into this type of stuff. You know, what do celebrities have to say? What do celebrities have to say? Who gives a damn? What do celebrities have to say? Who gives a damn? But clearly people be giving a damn, right? All right. So at ATL Black Star says celebrities speak out as questions mount in Nolan Wells case. I never understand why when they come out and be like, we want justice, we want everything. It's like, it ain't been long enough for you to get any justice. Can you give somebody a moment? Nope. Remember Ben said the other day, you know, Emmett Till died here. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Nothing. You know, most of the color community don't see it that way. And I guess he's their savior or something. But anyway. So Atlantic Black Star has this. They said Jennifer Lewis, who I saw the other day, I was trying to ignore her. Eric Benet, hip hop pioneer, MC Lyte have each spoken out as questions continue to surround the Mississippi teen's death. Their messages echo what many supporters have been saying online, that Nolan's family deserves transparency as the investigation continues. Did this not just start Sunday? Today is Friday. Did this not just start? Let me turn this on. Hold on. This just not happened this past weekend. Now all of a sudden everybody knows everything. You know how they do on TikTok. We know. The white people, it's racist. It's racism. Of course it is. Of course it is. Anyway, it couldn't be anything else. Shout out, I think, to Katanya's mom talking about the undercurrent. And then there's another theory that I just heard with someone else talking about it that could possibly be. But if you say something other than what these grifters want you to say, then you know what that is. You're a white supremacist talking white supremacist talking points. Because Tadisha, I don't know if she here, you know, the code and all, y'all. You got to stand on code, child, which means you go along with any crazy ass thing that you have no proof of, but because there's a white person involved, just go ahead and say that it's racism. Good afternoon, Kofi. He said, hello, colored and white, various shades of brown. I guess that's what that is. Shout out to Kofi. Various shades of brown. Shout out to the community. Let's hear what these people got to say, child.
Stop killing our children, son of a bitch. We don't care if you think you're rich. We love our children. and the color of their skin, and we're getting tired of being called as the next of kin. You twisted monsters are going too far. Don't you know your own children will suffer if you keep magnifying this civil war? The people are becoming more and more empowered.
What's that mean?
Stop killing our children, son of a bitch.
Okay, she on a loop. Did Jennifer come out for anything that happened over 4th of July weekend in Chicago? Did Jennifer come out and say anything for what was going on in Baltimore? Let me see if I can bring something up real quick. Hold on a second. I thought I just saw something in Baltimore. Fox 45, my favorite channel. Yeah, I think it was this one. I think they said they identified some young siblings. Now, I don't know if these people are, no, they don't have any update. I haven't been over here, but they definitely got some issues. It doesn't show any pictures, so I don't want to bring it up. But we already know, right? So did Jennifer come out to talk about any of these things that happen every night and every day in Chicago and Baltimore and maybe Memphis and all these other places? Is it just because these people were white and you don't even know if they had anything necessarily to do with it yet? So now she got to come out with this crazy ass soliloquy, knowing nothing, falling right in line with exactly what they want. Just be on code, child, and go out here and say that white people did it. And then we'll turn around and talk about how racist white people are whilst doing shit like this. This is the epitome of sanity, I tell you. But we're not supposed to say nothing. I'm not supposed to say anything, so I'm the white supremacist, okay?
Everybody's underreacting. To all this shit. All of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it?
Everybody's underreacting. To all this shit. All of it.
Okay. Thanks, Eric. Yeah. Who has heard from Eric Benet and how long? Everybody's underreacting. Y'all are underreacting. If y'all don't get to reacting.
Hi. I just wanted to say that after BET with the step show Chaos with an Iota of Daz, after the E-Suite, after the Van performance, after Essence Music Fest and rocking on stage with Brandy and Yo-Yo, and then with Dougie and Scarface and Too Short and a whole bunch of folks.
MC Light look good, y'all. MC Light look good.
Just want you to know that although we were in a moment of relief and we gave performances that hopefully gave the audience a moment of relief, we are with Nolan and his family, and we want the truth. Hi, I just wanted to say that after BET.
Now, if BET is y'all's life, then that's cool, okay? Because that's where, they over there glorify and spend that. But, to each his own, child. Shout out to MC Light. I'm not mad at her, but why do they think that it's an issue? There's nothing has happened yet. Not a GD thing has happened yet. Nothing. Except the race grifting has started. So I don't understand how people can't see how this wash, rinse, repeat situation continues to happen over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again. I'm not talking about the celebrities, right? I'm talking about Al and Ben and all the rest of them that latch on and say, we want justice. You know, Emmett Till was killed here. The fuck does that have to do with anything? Nothing. But still, as soon as it's anybody else every damn day, a black person with a black person, these motherfuckers ain't got shit to say. So y'all can miss me with this fake ass outrage. These people do not give a damn about black people. Go argue with your mom. They do not give a damn about black people. This is all about Democrats, liberals, progressives, and money. That's all this is about. Anyway, let's go over here to this person, Ben Jerby and Shamika Michelle. I don't know who they are. It says, my deepest condolences go out to the family of Nolan Xavier Wells. However, I will not be pulled into the racial psyop surrounding his demise. Ditto. Let's hear what they say.
We're going to talk about Nolan Wells. What you got?
Who's that?
I know you didn't see this all over social media.
The black boy that went on vacation. Okay, so I'll tell you this. Stories like this, I tend to not pay attention to because I already see what it is. I see what the psyop is. I already see, them white boys, they kiss the black boy, so don't like white people. When I see things like that in the shade room, whatever, I just like scroll. I'm very much, I give my energy to things I want to give energy to. I kind of saw the psyop of this. I look at the psyop before I even get into this. I see,
the picture alone.
Right. I see what you're supposed to, you're trying to make me feel a certain way. I'm not falling for this. Scroll on. Keep it scrolling. And that's kind of what happened with that. But from what I picked up, when I'm getting around the edges, basically this black boy went on vacation with these white boys in Mississippi. He ended up being dead somehow, and they're trying to make it and spin it on Neighborhood Talk and Shade Room. They're like, these white boys, you can't trust white people, or da. No thanks, didn't pay it no mind.
Right. Good.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm. It's so funny to me because the first thing they went to was, these white boys him, knowing that there are a lot of black people who can't swim. Okay, like let's stop playing like we are just these avid swimmers. We're little dolphins doing tricks in the water. Like, come on, why wasn't that your first thought? Like, black boy.
It's the same with the Carmelo Anthony thing. Like, I'm not falling into this. Like, at the end of the day, like, don't kill people. Sorry, don't kill people.
That's it. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Ben Jerby.
So some will listen to this and say, oh, that's not right. You just a white supremacist talking white supremacist talking. No, people are tired of these race grifters making these things turn into something that it's not. Like we talked about yesterday. All of a sudden, this family, and I'm not talking about them, but I'm speaking about what they said. There's a difference, okay? They said, or maybe it was Ben Crump that said it. I forget. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. You can't get a fair trial down here in Mississippi. Why can't you? They certainly lived in Mississippi. They certainly profited well in Mississippi. He certainly got great opportunity in Mississippi. Now all of a sudden, Mississippi is the problem. I was just in the MIS. Had no issues. Praise the Lord. Had no issues with no white people. Plenty of white people drove me around. Nothing. Now you got to be worried that Emmett Till was killed there. And I'm pretty sure wherever we all are, somebody black was killed there. By somebody white, whether it's famous or not. So what no one knows anything. Nobody knows anything, including Ben motherfucking Crump. But he most certainly makes his way now, don't he? Now they got him on national TV. Look at how well it worked out for Carmelo with that secondhand National Action Network Al Sharpton dude that's still running around here running off at the mouth. Well, long as they say they love black people, you on code. You gotta be on code. What the fuck is the code? Y'all don't have shit to say with what happens every fucking day. Every damn day. We're gonna have to do Crime is Down this weekend. Every day, nothing. Now Jennifer Lewis comes out here looking mean as a bitch and somebody is supposed to give a damn. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, let me go into the Good Morning America. Parents of Nolan Wells break their silence on GMA. Shout out to I didn't see it. I'm sorry I didn't catch it. Whoever sent the Joels, appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
The death of Nolan Wells. We're joined by his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley, as well as their attorney Ben Crump. And before we get started,
of course.
First off, I want to thank you for being here under these circumstances. I know how extremely tough it must be, and we can express our how sorry we are for you and your family. And first question, how are you two holding up?
Taking it second by second.
Day by day. Second by second and day by day, which we all can understand. And I just want to ask you, the friends that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they say that he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
That we cannot answer.
Exactly. Nobody knows. It could be any number of reasons that he stayed behind. It could have been any number of reasons. I heard someone say, what did they say? That he was talking to a girl, which is that weird? Would that be weird if he wanted to talk to a girl, y'all? Or he gave his phone to them so that they could carry the phone, and they think that his parents will think that's where he is because they had some tracker on the phone, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly. Maybe they was going to meet up later, because it's interesting. And I'm not talking about these people because I know they're going through something. I just personally think they're being taken advantage of. Okay. Child, it just left my mind. What I was about to say. Oh, kids always do what they're supposed to do, right? Teenagers always do what they're supposed to do. They never do anything away from the norm. They never drink when they're not supposed to. They never smoke smoke things they're not supposed to. They always do the right thing. They never cover stuff up for one another. Teenagers never cover things up for one another. Listen, this could all technically be an accident, but because you got race grifters grifting, and off the strength of Chow and off the strength of Frisco, they're gonna go ahead and make this totally be about white people. Now, again, when we looked at the house yesterday where they live, they are not having monetary issues, okay? So they're living in a different place. And they're probably more than likely living around a lot of white people. And they had no problem then. And his friends clearly were. We saw earlier, I think today, a lot of his black friends, because one of his black friends posted all the pictures to give him a tribute. Beautiful, right? Cool. Love it. Positive images. I'm not upset with that. So does that mean that he couldn't be friends with the white people? So he couldn't be friends with the white people? Got it. Just checking.
I can't fathom why he would.
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Mm-hmm. Even when he was in college, he was her dad, well, we're gonna ride down to a party or something in another city. And so I was telling him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from your group. Because I was just safe.
Not to interrupt him, let me rewind a little bit. How many biatch videos have we watched where they all went out together and they know damn well they were supposed to come back together, and then they said, you know what, go on without me because I met him. He's going to take me home. He going to do this, he going to do that. Oh, good, Tadisha's here. We're going to need some references today, boo. Anyone with children over the age of 15, let me say 18. Let me just say 18 because they're adults now, because kids will admit what they used to do once they're out of the house and they're older, right? And my kids have done the same thing, and I'm assuming that yours have as well. Or maybe you caught them. Have your kids always done what they said they was going to do when they left the house, Bueller? I'm not saying this as for any other reason as to we know nothing, they know nothing, but too many people want to make it about race. Too many people want to make it about race with no evidence whatsoever. They lived with these people. They lived around these people. So you're trying to tell me that, you didn't necessarily follow the rules all the time. Is that what you're saying? I've snuck out of the house, me and my bestie, gotten into a car with our boyfriends and drove off most of the damn night. I've said I was supposed to be here and I was actually there. So to ask that question, like, why would he do that? I'm Michael Strahan. I mean, I guess you got to ask the questions, but, sir, I think he has kids. Yeah, he does, because he has kids that stick. No one said, what are the red flags? What are the red flags? What are they? No one knows anything. What are the red flags? The deleted messages are the only thing that's a red flag, which are going to be retrieved. So other than that, what is the red flag? What? No one knows anything. And from what I've heard, they can't even really confirm or deny that messages were deleted yet. But that's an easy fix. They go to the freaking phone company. They can get them. Not I almost never follow the rules. Damn. I could not.
Dad, well, we're gonna ride down to a party or something in another city. Now, so I was telling him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from the group. So I always said safety is in numbers. Mm-hmm. And he always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
So that would have been unusual for him.
So y'all really out here trying to act like y'all always follow the rules, right? Y'all are full of shit, especially if you are an adult over the age of 30. Y'all can miss me with that bullshit. Y'all can miss me with all that bullshit. So you have never had known a kid, even if it's a friend of your kid, who was doing what they weren't supposed to do. And unfortunately, God forbid, they ended up deceased because they was doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing, even though they told their parents that they was doing something else. I know off the top of my head about 2 people when I was in high school that died because they were doing something that they weren't supposed to. One of which was speeding, and somebody was in the car that wasn't supposed to be in the car, and then drunk driving. You're a liar. You don't know that. You're a liar. You do not know that. Stop lying. Take that shit somewhere else and use y'all's allegedlys around here. Because I just saw Flacco straight out come out and say that they red rum that kid. How do you know? You don't know that. You do not know that. You all want to believe that from the gate without any freaking information. Picture the 2 black friends circulating this morning looking as though one of them in a hoodie had some visible wealth as if in a scuffle. I don't know nothing about that. Somebody send it to me. I don't know nothing about that. If you got it, send it to me. I haven't seen none of that.
Split from the group. And you said he would always check in with you. Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat. And usually when he is out there, which is not uncommon, he's, I think, since last year, he's been.
Did you hear that? It's not uncommon for him to be out there on the boat. Let me rewind that for y'all. So clearly, he really has been hanging around with these boys for a long ass time, or for some time, right? I'm not saying that absolves anything. All I'm saying is no one knows anything. Nobody knows anything. But these are people that he knew. These are people that he went out on the boat with. This wasn't a one-time thing. This is a regular thing. Are you talking about Carmelo? That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Nolan Wells. Come on, keep up.
Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat. And usually when he is out there, which is not uncommon, he's, I think, since last year, he's been going there occasionally with his friends. And so it would always just be like, hey, Mom, I'm back type of thing. But this time there was no call or a text from him. It was from his friend.
And then, too, really didn't worry a lot about it because, it was his last weekend to have fun. Because that Monday he had to report to school. We was preparing to take him back for camp to prepare for the season. So, we're going to see. He wanted to have his last little hurrah before he locked down and get ready for the season. Because, like I said, the entire summer he's training. He got more serious. He started to understand what I was trying to tell him about football, not just being fun, but as you get farther in it, it becomes a business. If you want to excel, you have to understand. And you have to understand both at the same time.
And we know, Ben, that you said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you say you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but whenever.
Child, this nigga can't even speak proper English, and y'all got all your faith in this nigga.
How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call.
Yeah, Mom, you take the spotlight away from him. This is about you. This is not about him.
From Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima, and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, like they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it, and that.
So it sounds like that's misinformation that we have heard as well, that one of the kids brought the phone home. It looks like they found it. Where the hell did they find the phone at? They tracked the phone. Shout out to iPhone users. You can do Find My Phone and then try to go and retrieve it. I'm sure most phones have that. So they just said that Tashima, or whatever her name is, went and got the phone. So where was it? I believe they have a GoFundMe already. 200,000 if I'm not mistaken. I can look that up in a second.
I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not. He was like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went to pick it up. I thought one of the boys gave the phone. That's the lie that's been going around. They said, oh, they brought the phone home to her. Clearly, that's not true. She just now said it. I'm going to listen to her before I listen to anyone else. Tashima went and got the phone.
It wasn't like they said.
Why he keep interrupting her, child?
Yeah, we got his phone. They tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Michael.
Look at him. Look at this. Listen to this.
And my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone.
So now he wants to make sure that you all don't think that the white boys are off the hook, okay? This is what he's saying. Why didn't he let her finish what she was saying? It's her fucking son. No, let me go ahead and interrupt to make sure that y'all don't think that these boys don't have nothing to do with it. She just said Tashima went and picked up the phone. From who? Where? Let me go ahead and interrupt, because I don't want y'all to be making it seem like them white boys ain't have nothing to do with it, because we want to make sure that we make everybody think that them white boys had something to do with it. No evidence, mind you, but we want to make sure, because this is where Emmett Till was killed, all right? Again, they ain't got shit to do with anything, but when you're a grifter, this is what you do.
My friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Mike.
Now all of a sudden, and that highlights all these contradictions. What contradictions, nigga? You should have let her finish the sentence so we can hear what happened and where Tashima went and picked up the phone. Oh, Ben don't want us to know that. Ben don't want y'all to know that. He probably over here like the way he interrupted her. Too much. You telling too much.
The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman and she...
Where does this come from? What is he talking about? We was talking about Tanisha picking up the phone. Now here he come. Whoa, there's inconsistencies. Whoa, there's all these inconsistencies. If you don't let that woman talk, that mother, no, he want to jump in here. It is a fucking grift. It is a fucking grift. I wouldn't let him enter. I wouldn't call this nigga. I'm telling you that. Never, no way. Him nor Al Sharpton. It's all about them. Darwinkle? Child. Dar says the GoFundMe is at 392,000. Nice. Good. No, that's what you want to hear because you're ignorant too. It has nothing to do with that. Y'all jump into conclusions because y'all want to think racism is at the base of everything. He don't know shit. That nigga don't know shit. But he want to keep you tied to it so you can make sure you go vote Democrat because that's what this is about for that nigga. Besides the fact that he wants to get paid. Let that woman talk about her damn son. We don't need to hear from you, nigga. He need to go some damn where. If you don't see it, then that's a you problem. If you think that I'm defending white boys, you're an ignorant ass and you need to go on because I'm not defending nobody. We going by what the fuck is here, but y'all don't want to do that. Y'all just want to go ahead and jump to conclusions with absolutely no proof, listening to a race grifter. Go right ahead. Y'all want to make your whole life about racism, then you fucking make it. I just left Mississippi and they live in Mississippi. They are doing well in Mississippi prior to this. They are doing well with their finances. They ain't living around niggas. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna bet money on it looking at their home. They ain't living around a bunch of Negroes, I tell you that. Nolan has been hanging out with those daggone boys for over a year. She just said that. But y'all hear what you want. That's the problem. You listen to fucking race grifters instead of listening to what's being said. He been hanging out with them. They've been his friends. We know nothing else. Except for these are the actual facts. And this is the conclusion that you go to, child. If you don't get the fuck out of here and out of my face. Anyway. He won't. Exactly. He's not gonna shut up. Because he wants to interrupt and keep the focus on racism. Child, it's the same shit. It's just a different daggone day. And they just take advantage of these people in these situations. Your mom is ignorant. What you gonna do about it? You still here? Who the ignorant one? You still here? This is the same thing over and over and over again. Niggas don't know how to handle shit and they love to be led by people like this and don't think. Being led to their own detriment because it's all this racism, but you niggas don't go nowhere now, do you? You stay right the fuck here. You don't want to acknowledge what's actually true. The only fact here is that they live in Mississippi. He been in Mississippi. He been hanging out with those boys. He been going to that island. Those boys did not bring that phone home. Tanisha went and picked it up. Now here come Ben interjecting racism.
He tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone, they tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boy said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing? And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers.
Who's heard this? Nolan, give me my phone back, or he said, give me my phone back. Who's heard this? How come nobody sent it to me? What is going on? I didn't hear none of that. The only video I saw with them panning around, I ain't hear nothing. So here we go again. There's a better video. There's a better video. Well, why are y'all not giving it to the police? Send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me. If it says that, send it to me. I didn't hear nothing on the video. Them saying, I see nothing. I heard nothing on that video. Send it to me.
Michael Strahan, who says, if you believe that story, I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then.
No young person leaves their cell phone. And when y'all, I guess we didn't have cell phones when we were younger, of course. But if you're doing wrong, and I'm not saying that is true, because I don't disagree that kids don't leave their cell phones, especially if they need to be in contact with people, right? But at this point, with what we have right here, how he doing more talking about their kid? How does he know more what's going on than they do? Why is he not letting them speak?
And there's so many things their parents were telling us about. Even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday? Why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there's so
Now it's the history of Mississippi. Let's go ahead and make sure y'all don't forget that Emmett Till was killed in Mississippi. Well, why do black people live in Mississippi then, Bueller? Why? Why these people also, not I used to leave my pager. I never left my pager either. Why do they live in Mississippi then if it's such a horrible place? If it's so much racism going on? And I'm not saying there's no racism in Mississippi, but guess what? There's racism everywhere. But y'all got to live somewhere now, don't you? So they were certainly doing well for people that was living amongst all this racism, though. They was doing very well, including Nolan. They wasn't much worried about it. His friends seemed to be fine, right? This nigga don't know shit. But he get people like that ignorant ass bitch from earlier to go ahead and just be like, oh, yeah, you're wrong. Oh, okay. Just because I'm going by what's actually is and not what people are making up in their brain because they don't know anything. Y'all, where is this video at? Tell me where you've seen it at. I will see if I can find it.
many questions that need to be answered. And is there anything you'd like people to know about Nolan? What would you like them to know about your son?
No,
It's okay.
Nolan. Take your time. Nolan was very loving. He was liked by all. It was not a friend he couldn't make.
No, we'll be right back with more for the parents of Nolan Wells and attorney Ben Crump. We're back now on GMA with the parents of Nolan Wells, Christina and Elmore Wansley. And I want you to please continue to tell us what you want the world to know about your son.
So Nolan was...
Child, the 92% is 92%, y'all. The 92% is 92%. Remember they were supposed to shut the fuck up? This is the sisterhood at hand, y'all. This is what we got live in view tonight of the sisterhood. There's no such thing as a sisterhood. As soon as you say something they don't like, they come for you. Oh my goodness gracious. Trust me, boo, I'm used to it. I don't give a fuck. All views matter though.
just like this bright light, right? Walk into a room, his smile, his energy was just so infectious. Like it's almost like he drew you into him. And he was just one of those people, like he always wanted everyone to be included. He didn't want anyone to feel left out. I remember one of his teachers emailing us. I can't remember what grade he was in, but basically it was math class. They had a special needs student and she asked a question and Nolan got everyone to put their hands down because he wanted that student to answer. And so the student answers the question and she was like, Christine, the classroom, Nolan went crazy and everyone else started going crazy, just celebrating that child, making them feel included. And that was the person he was. Like he loved everyone. And I always told Nolan, like, you have to be careful when you have such a big heart like that. I love that God blessed you with that, but you have to be careful with that because, that it's not always returned, that type of love. But he was just genuinely a good person. Like
you see this? 92%. 92%. Hell no, I'm not subscribing. I don't want you to. If you can't be civil and you can't look at facts as a whole and not just jump to conclusions with no proof just because somebody is white and somebody is black, we don't want you here because we don't like dumb people. Dummism all 2026, we see that you're a candidate and you only prove that black people don't really care for other black people. They only like black people to think the way that they want them to. And to go along with somebody like Ben Crump, who can barely even speak, who all he does is jump on freaking stuff for race. But that's your man's. Y'all can have him. And y'all can have each other. I don't give a fuck. Jason, I appreciate you, boo. He said, all bucks matter too. Love you. Thank you, boo. Appreciate you. Shout out to those with common sense. Let's let his mother finish speaking.
Like I always say, all the best parts of me are with him.
And Dad, anything else you want to add?
It's just, he's going to be really missed. I know a lot of his teammates, they all look at him as a leader. He's more like a silent leader. Not real big on words, more action, which is kind of like I was. I really wasn't real big on talking. I really wanted to show you and you follow me and people follow him. And it just gravitated. He put in the work, he worked hard and he knew he was focused on what he wanted. And he wanted to make life better for his family. He wanted to have his own family. He used to say, Dad, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I said, well, so you got to take it one step at a time. Slow down. Let's go. Let's walk this thing out. Let's train. Let's sign our deals. Let's make these teams, make these camps, put the work in, and everything else will work out. Even his baby brother, their bond got even stronger because now I have a big brother that he's finna do something. So now I want to outdo that. So his focus and his confidence has got even better. So I was looking forward to both of them having outstanding years.
Seasons, he seemed like he inspired in the home, and he inspired.
Let me go ahead and shout out strong Black fathers. Shout out to strong Black fathers that are actually in their child's life, that actually have a whole union together, work through things, raising their children, especially their sons. Because, the 92% are the ones that aren't for marriage and typically disparage you, sassy straights, right? Now, all of a sudden, my point is being proven again, y'all. They only care about you when you are deceased or you are in jail, you're a criminal. They only give a damn about you when you are deceased or you are a criminal. Say I'm lying. Because any other time to see these two parents together, just say this didn't happen and they was just up here talking. What y'all think they're gonna say about those two parents? Let me just bring them back on the screen for a second. What you think they're gonna say about them, Bueller? If this didn't happen, take Nolan off the table and they was just up here talking about a business or something, child, I don't know, just say that. What would they say about this couple right here? I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 3 don't count. The same people over here coming in here trolling, talking about what I'm not doing. What they gonna do is say, who is that? Who he married to and why he married to her? What is she? He ain't ish. He ain't got ish going on. Crusty, dusty, musty, rusty. He don't care. It don't matter. That's all they ever say. That's all they ever say. Am I lying or am I right or am I lying? It's usually something disparaging. Black men aren't the most active fathers. Say I'm lying. Black men don't do shit. Black men don't be in the family. They don't marry nobody. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. That's exactly what they would be saying about these people. But since there's a deceased Black male, now it's everybody got to come together. Now it's got to be racism. And if you don't say it's racism, then you off code. Tadisha, where's that written at? They would be saying something completely different. He looks just like his mom too. And looking at them just as I'm noticing, he looks just like his mom. This man, this father, this Black father here, who married that child's mother and had a couple kids and is very successful, clearly was present in his son's life and teaching him plenty. Thank you, boo. Page 152. No, isn't that interesting, Dallas? Isn't that interesting? But, it is what it is. And if this situation wasn't going on, I promise you that's what it would be, because that's what it is enough of the damn time. So the 92% can kiss my ass as usual, because I already know that you don't care about anybody. You don't care about families. You don't care about this story, except for it helps to fan the flames of racism, because then that will help the 92% go Democratic, as they always want to be, liberals, progressives, and Democrats, because that's the bottom line for Al. For Ben, it's money. For Ben, it's money. And definitely for Al, but it's also for the Democratic part of it, in it. Roland just admitted last damn week, and we watched him come out of his black ass mouth, that Democrats don't do shit for Black people. It's not political. It's always political. It's political or it's about money. The color is green. That's it. That's it.
I was looking forward to both of them having outstanding years.
Seasons, he seemed like he inspired in the home and he inspired outside of the home. And Attorney Crump, where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, the deleted messages that Christina was going to briefly touch on, we want to get the phone and figure that out.
Backtrack on that. When we finally got his phone, me and my sister went through the phone. We went in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts, absolutely nothing. It wasn't even 24 hours, which is how long videos and pictures stay in Snapchat. And I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos. Like there was absolutely nothing, no saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's suspicious,
Michael,
you know.
We having an independent autopsy.
Here he go again.
Done at the behest of his family. Colin Kaepernick helped pay for the independent autopsy. We flew his body up from Mississippi to D.C. because they wanted an autopsy done by a person with no interaction with the Mississippi law enforcement, because there's an issue of trust here that is really important. And the fact that they keep trying to say, well, suggesting it was a drowning, but nobody out there reported him drowning. It's not adding up, Michael Strahan. It is not adding up.
And honestly, we are doing this because at the end of the day, I would hope any parent would fight for their kids to find out if anything happened, what did happen. So we just want honesty and transparency. We want a thorough investigation. We want that same respect that would be given to anybody else. And that's it. We just want answers.
Well, we really appreciate all of you being here.
All right, Michael. Exactly. Let that woman talk. This is her life. This is her child. This is her son, and his capable father, who is clearly in his life and teaching him well. Okay, let's go to CBS this morning with Kazoo. Lord help your people. What does it say? Nolan Wells' dad says he doesn't believe his son stayed behind on island where teen was found dead.
We're focusing on the desperate search for answers in the mysterious death of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells. He didn't return with friends after a 4th of July boat trip to a Mississippi island. Wells' mother reported him missing that very night, but tragically, a few days later, his body was found. Now, there are a lot of questions about what happened to him, and his family is demanding answers. Nolan's parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley, and their attorney, Ben Crump, are joining us now in studio to talk more about this. Thank you both, and Attorney Crump, for being here under these especially difficult circumstances that no parent ever wants to live through. Christine and Elmore, can you help us understand what your understanding is of the timeline and what questions you both still have about what actually happened to Nolan?
So he basically, the night before, all the boys got together, stayed the night. 4th of July, they launched the boat. They went to the island. And
hold on. Did she say they spent the night together? Hold on.
Can you help us understand what your understanding is of the timeline and what questions you both still have about what actually happened to Nolan?
so he basically, the night before, all the boys got together, stayed the night. 4th of July, they launched the boat. They went to the island. And that was that. I was expecting to, hey, we're back, like he normally does.
They spent the night where? At your house?
Didn't happen. Get a phone call around 11, 4th of July. Hey.
Do they all have the same beads on or something? They got these beads on. I just noticed that this one white and these two got the red one on. And what's he drinking? Since everybody knows everything, what's in his hand? Is he old enough to be drinking? What's the drinking age in Mississippi? I don't know if this is a soda, but it don't look like a soda can. I could be wrong. I don't drink soda.
Didn't happen. Get a phone call around 11, 4th of July. Hey, have you talked to Nolan? And I'm like, no, where's he at? So then my friend Tashima was so helpful in tracking his phone down because...
Wait. Who called you?
Happened. Get a phone call. Expect July. They launched the boat. They went to the island. And that was that. I was expecting to, hey, we're back, like he normally does. Didn't happen. Get a phone call around 11, 4th of July. Hey, have you talked to Nolan? And I'm like, no, where's he at? So then my friend Tashima was so helpful in tracking his phone down.
I guess that was the dude Wayne. Now, listen, can we use our allegedlys? Now, I have heard that as I'm listening, allegedly. Since whites are so dangerous, just bring back segregation. I'm gonna pass courteously, but shout out to y'all. Allegedly, y'all got to use your allegedlys. You got to use your allegedlys because no one knows anything. But I did hear someone say that, right? What the other person just said. Allegedly. Okay.
Down because everyone was looking at the Snapchat location because all the kids follow each other. But I was looking at Live 360 and I'm like, well, I don't understand because I'm literally looking at his phone like it's at someone's house. So thankfully my friend did go grab the phone for us.
Whose house? Whose house? And I don't think it was Run's house.
As we were kind of doing the other part of it, which was notifying, the local authorities, trying to figure out who we needed to speak to do the missing persons report, because I know that needs to be done as soon as possible, especially when we're talking about water. We wanted to make sure that we could try to find him, and that was the goal.
Who called you?
Especially when we're talking about water. How long did it take to figure out about Malcolm Jamal Warner? How long did it take to find out that he had drowned?
First initially, and how well do you know the people that Nolan was hanging out with that day? How familiar are you with them and their families?
So their families, we have not met. So Warren was the one who made the phone call, and he did contact the Coast Guard as well, which I know there's some discrepancies now with that. But he did contact them, and I was going back and forth with the Sheriff's Department and the City of Ocean Springs. Who do we talk to? So then it turned into
all right. So she don't know his friend's family, but she really didn't answer how well she knows the friends. So maybe they didn't spend the night at her house. Whose house did they all spend the night at?
him, and that was the goal.
Who called you first initially, and how well do you know the people that Nolan was hanging out with that day? How familiar are you with them and their families? So
their families, we have not met. So Warren was the one who made the phone call, and he did contact the Coast Guard as well, which I know there's some discrepancies now with that. But he did contact them, and I was going back and forth with the Sheriff's Department and the City of Ocean Springs. Who do we talk to? So then it turned into I had to contact DMR, and DMR took the information, but then reverted me back to Ocean Springs Police Department. So it's kind of like, where do we go from here? So Jackson County basically was like, hey, we're gonna take it over. We'll go ahead and do the report.
Well, the mother of one of the boys.
She really didn't answer that question as far as I'm concerned, but okay.
Who was with Nolan apparently posted on social media that Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and then return inland later with another group of friends. Were you made aware of that plan beforehand? Is that something that Nolan would have done or would do often?
No.
No, he wouldn't. Nolan was always taught to stay with the group. If you leave with me, you come back with me. So that I don't understand. And with me being a parent, if I was in that situation, I would have told him, you're going to get back on this boat with me because I don't want to have to answer to your parents if something happened to you.
Right.
So you're going to get on the boat. And if you still don't want to get on the boat, someone give me a phone so I can make a phone call to get your parents on the phone so they can tell you to get on the boat. But at no time will I leave someone else's child, especially on the island.
So you think he got left behind then?
Yes. I don't believe he decided to stay on the island by himself. It just doesn't, that's not his character.
Attorney Crump, you have a lot of questions about what happened, ranging from the fact that the police very quickly declared that they didn't see any evidence of foul play, but then said that they were now investigating, to the timeline, the idea of where the phone could potentially be. Help me understand.
Vlad, there's so many glaring contradictions, and that's why so many people all across America are chiming in saying this is not adding up. I mean, you have them saying he was talking to a young lady, and she said that he said, I'm going to get back on the boat with the boys. Well, the boys say, he said that, no, I'm going to stay with her. I mean, which is it? And then
any young man that has ever left dudes in order to be with a girl, I'm just asking questions. Do y'all do that? Because I can tell you that girls will leave the girl group to go with a boy that they want to be with. I can tell the truth. Girls will leave their friends in a hard fucking beat for a dude that they interested in. Quick, damn the rules. I'm just saying. So I get boys don't do that. I'm not disagreeing with the parents. I'm just asking, would dudes do that? I don't have sons. I only have daughters, and I don't trust them as far as I can see them. I can say that I've taught them. I can say when they were in school, I can say that I've told them, and I can say that, if you're doing something that you can't do in front of us, then you're not supposed to be doing it. And even if we don't see you, God sees you. Those are the things that I said. Because I know kids. I'm just saying. So dudes will do it? Okay, just checking. Oh, no, Jason admitted he did it. Oh, no. Girls for sure. Girl, for sure. Without hesitation. Them rules is back here. That libido is right here. I'm not gonna lie. I've done it. We're teenagers are going to teenage. That's it. I'm not saying that Nolan don't follow rules. I'm not saying that he stayed because of a girl. I'm not saying that he didn't. All I'm saying is that it's not an impossible thing. That's all I'm saying. Goodbye. Okay. Okay.
And on top of that, you talk about this video that's out there that shows this apparent argument going on where Nolan says, where's my freaking phone? What are you freaking doing? And then his phone turns up missing. I don't know any 18-year-old, if you go with their story that he said he was going to stay behind, I'm going to leave my cell phone behind. It's not adding up. And so those are the things that his mother and father are saying, we're not accepting this. He was a college athlete. He was in superb shape. And so he's a good swimmer. And you see the video of all those people out there.
if he's drowning, nobody's going to help.
But the video that you're talking, sorry, now the video that you're talking, go ahead.
I was going to say, you reposted that video. Now the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, they are calling for people to send in any videos or anything that they may have seen. What are they communicating with you about the investigation and what they are getting from people?
They haven't communicated much at this point. In fact, his mother, as she said, they had to track down the cell phone, and she can talk about the deleted messages that are very concerning to her because it's relevant. All of it is relevant to finding out how Nolan Wells ended up dead.
Let me ask you really quickly on that video that you posted. Are you sure that that is Nolan's voice that we could hear on the video?
Well, and there are kids. Kids are talking, and kids are always talking that there was an argument. So we have independent investigators doing it, and we get an independent autopsy.
Oh, so at the end of the day, he don't know? Let me see if I can find this jackass's Instagram. Hold on. What is his name? Ben Crump. Attorney Ben Crump. Oh, the what ifs. All right. Is this it?
Search involving 8 law enforcement agency ends in heartbreak. Investigators believe they found the body of 18-year-old Nolan Wells in the water after he went missing from his friends during a crowded 4th of July boat celebration at Horn Island on the Mississippi coast. The coroner said the remains matched the description of Nolan's appearance, and there were no immediate signs of physical injury. Friends and family remember Wells as a standout athlete with a big heart. Nolan's mother described him as a special soul. Family and friends and I are absolutely devastated. My heart is broke for our sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others, she wrote on Facebook. The Jackson County Sheriff says that no foul play suspected. He declined to elaborate on how Nolan became separated from his friends group. A member of the volunteer rescue group, United Cajun Navy, spoke to several people who were at Horn Island, and they described it as a crowded with boats and swimmers, many who had been drinking. And he said he believes that strong rip currents could have posed a risk. Family's desperate search for their teen son ends in tragedy after a water.
Oh, this is it. Child, that water look dirty AF. Why are y'all up in this dirty ass water? You ain't got nothing on the Caribbean. Like, that's like, anyway. Child, this is a video y'all said you heard him say that that's my phone or whatever. I don't hear nothing. And so definitely not in this slow ass motion. Child, y'all just be acting like you just hear whatever you want to hear. What else this Negro got? All right.
Thank you, Brandy. Here at the Lake Mars boat launch is where the investigation, or excuse me, the search party is going to be set up. You can see here over my shoulder The Jackson County Mobile Command Unit is already here and set, and there is a pickup truck on the other side of it for the Jackson County Sheriff's Office as well. Now, they were here yesterday looking and searching the area. What we know right now is that Nolan Wells was last seen without a shirt in blue swim trunks with some sunglasses on around 3 p.m. on the 4th of July over at Horn Island. Now, he went out there with some friends to celebrate the weekend and celebrate the holiday and has not been seen, like I said, since 3 p.m. Now, the search party is expected to continue today.
So he hasn't been seen. He wasn't seen since 3 p.m. on the 4th of July, which was Saturday. Okay, I was on my way out by that time. All right, so now that sounds suspicious because 3 p.m. is bright as F. You mean ain't nobody see nothing? Nobody saw nothing? So I guess they're saying that if he was, like, just say he was drowning or couldn't catch his breath or something. So none of those people saw? Because if it was 4th of July on Saturday, 4th of July, it was hot AF in Mississippi. I know this to be true. So they was in that dirty water. I guess they was on the boat chilling in the dirty water, right? So if you saw a kid drowning, you just left him and we just, we gotta eat. No. Now that makes sense, okay? And, well, who saw him last at 3 o'clock? The dude just said that the last that he saw was 3 o'clock with his shorts on, with his glasses on. So where did he go? So are they trying to say that all those people that were out there, all of a sudden they're all covering up for this? What could they have done at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to him though? You know what I'm saying? You would think it would be too many votes that like somebody would say something, do something. Does that make sense? How could you be allegedly deleted at 3 p.m. in front of all these people on 4th of July weekend? Now, why ain't Ben just saying that now? That don't make no sense to me. Vegetarian-tarium, I like that name. Thank you so much. They said, I do, but most don't. Not sure about others' experience. My girl is my girl. You my homie, but you ain't forever. I've never put my boys over my girl. Oh, well, thank you for your honesty. And I'm just, especially as teenagers, as young people, I just don't think I think this is what they do, like what you just said. So appreciate that. Thank you for the support and your honesty. They last saw him at 3 and don't nobody know nothing, like Nino Brown says.
The United Cajun Navy is expected to also take some aircrafts up in the air to help with the search efforts. I've already heard about 2 planes go over my head this morning as well. We got a chance to speak with the United Cajun Navy earlier about this investigation moving forward.
You know, if you were one of the group that was with him, or if you were on the island and you were there and saw anything, please don't be afraid to come forward and tell the authorities exactly what you know, no matter what you might think might be some consequences or whatnot. But it's very important right now in these critical moments that we get truthful, confirmable information.
This is amazing.
Now, the family and also Jackson County Sheriff's Department is looking for any information or any photos or videos that could have helped and could help pinpoint a timeline out there on the island on July 4th. If you were out there celebrating on Horn Island on Independence Day and you have anything that you feel like could prove or point to a person or timeline, it is asked that you send that in to the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. Live from Jackson County, Will Polson, WL.
All right, Will. Lord help your people. That does sound crazy. I guess that's where it started. Okay, yeah, that's where it started, I guess. All right. So let me go back to this. What video was it? This one? Yes, this one. With them on CBS this morning.
Kids are always talking that there was an argument. So we have independent investigators doing it, and we get an independent autopsy. Colin Kaepernick paid for his body to be flown up to Washington, D.C. from Mississippi because his parents have some distrust when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Oh, yes. And Christine, going back to that cell phone, you said you were able to recover it. Yes. So you saw clear signs that there were deleted conversations?
There were definitely concerns just because Nolan is always on Snapchat. He will be like, hey, mom, smile, you know, put a peace sign. So when me and my sister went through it, there was nothing.
There were
no saved videos. There was nothing in there. She went to the secondary account. There was nothing in there. And I know, you know, when kids get together for events like that, you know.
So here's my question, though, and I just have a question because I'm thinking, if you wanted to mess around with the phone, right, why wouldn't you just drop it in the water? Wouldn't that mess up the phone, y'all? I mean, I guess if you go on to a computer, you still could retrieve the messages, I guess. Maybe, I guess. So maybe they're saying that somebody deleted messages out of the phone and then dropped it somewhere. They found it by way of the Life 360 thing. And then they went to find it wherever, you know, wherever that was. Okay. Yeah, but it wouldn't erase what's actually on the phone. But even though you erase stuff and delete stuff off of the phone company can still get it. LC said, now that does seem suspicious. Deleted messages, absolutely. And nobody, if he was the last seen at 3 o'clock, that's the dead. It didn't get dark in Mississippi while I was there until after 9 o'clock. So it's like, all right, so no one saw anything? Somebody had to have seen something.
They're snapping, they're making videos, taking pictures. And so I'm just like, where is it? Because it hadn't even been 24 hours when we started looking, which usually with Snapchat, it goes away once you hit that 24-hour mark.
Elmore, can you, for all of us who are so concerned about what happened here, just tell us a little bit more about your son? Who was he? What kind of man was he growing up to be?
He was very respected by the community. He was very respected by a lot of people. There wasn't a friend that he couldn't make. When people gravitated to Nolan, that was just the type of person he was. He was I would say a silent leader when on the field and on the basketball court. People would follow his actions and not his words. I'm a person, I believe action is more important than words. You can tell me 1,000 times you love me, but show me you love me. Mm-hmm. If you are my real friends and I'm giving you this trust, you need to get it back to me by making me. Yeah. Making me get on that boat. It's 3 of them, one of me. Yeah, we may tussle, but when we get back to the mainland, either we're gonna tussle some more, we're gonna go party. So, and same with the adult. If that was your child, and I was the one there, you would have wanted me to make your child get back on the boat. So there was a lot of bad decisions made. I don't think my son volunteered to stay on the island. I can't believe that.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you both for being here. We're so sorry about this, and we hope that.
All right. They did a press conference today, y'all. This is the Eyewitness News one, and they're saying parents of Nolan Wells seek answers in teen's mysterious death. So the reason why this is an issue for me is it's getting worse because now you got to get up here in front of the National Action Network. So now Al has to get his part in this too. So shout out to Nightjade. She says in the 90s, we would be seeing a made-for-TV movie and would. And would. Buddha says, the research I've done says Horn Island has a ton of gators. How would his body last so long intact? That's a thing. I asked them about gators and they said they don't typically like come all the way out like where I am, because that'd be my concern when I was down there, that and snakes, but they said it's not really a thing. Just depends on where you are. Now in the water, obviously that would make sense. That's a thought too. And that 3 o'clock thing, knowing that it doesn't get dark until after 9 is weird. I blame a lot on Nolan's parents because they should have educated him about whites in Mississippi, Alabama, and the whole South. Oh my God. You colors, you something else. I tell you. You have a respect demanding quality that reminds me of Paul Mooney. I wouldn't want to make you angry. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Thanks for being here though. So let's go ahead and listen to these grifters grift and take advantage of these damn people. Child, you're already pissing me off.
Good afternoon.
He can't find no tailored suits yet after all this weight he lost.
To my right are the parents of Nolan Wells, and we'll hear from them. And of course, attorney of Black America, Ben Crump, and attorney Park, you'll hear from. I want to let me say at the outset
Thank you for Shanta Marie for the flow state. Appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
Received the word of what happened to Nolan and began hearing what was pieced together. It is clear that this situation must have the most thorough and objective investigation to lead to justice. What we've been told does not make sense. And being that there is lack of confidence in the local authorities, who have already, in my judgment, seemed to have mishandled where it was going. Because
of course, in his judgment, all the way up in New York while this is going on in damn Mississippi. Anyway, Reaper, I appreciate you. He said, did you see that man running from the police got bitten by a gator? Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Also folding clothes. Goodbye, sir. No, I ain't see that mess. Don't send it to me either. Child, I'm tired of these dummies.
Just immediately.
All right, I don't want to listen to him. Shit. Drive me nuts.
If there's another way, don't back up.
How do you know so damn much?
I'm Attorney Ben Crumpet, along with Attorney Lisa Park and Garrett Presson and Camila Moore. We have the honor and the privilege of helping to lead an independent investigation on behalf of the family of Nolan Wells. Why do you say we need to be retained to lead an independent investigation? It is because the family has distrust of the Mississippi law enforcement officials giving them a fair investigation where their black son ended up dead after going out on a boat with 3 young white men.
Yes, let's start with the race sensing up and everything. Their black son went out with some white boys. Now they always go out there together, but this time it's a problem. They've been living in Mississippi, but this time it's a problem. They know what Mississippi is because they live here comfortably, but this time it's a problem. Yeah, that's what they need him for. Yeah, this is helpful.
The history of Mississippi is something that they don't just read about in books, but it's a lived experience for many Black Americans that oftentimes when our children are killed in highly questionable.
Well, you mean when your kids is killed in Chicago and y'all ain't got no press conferences then? I'm confused. What, Tadisha, how come they don't do this every night with what happens in Chicago? Let's go ahead and say Baltimore. How come they don't do all this since they care about Black kids? The 92%, help me understand how come they don't do all this when it comes to other Black kids that get taken on up out of here, or grandparents, mind you, or the elders, period, mind you. Y'all ain't got nothing to say about that? Or did y'all go ahead and exit stage left? Because I'd be a little bit confused. Now all of a sudden you got to think about race, child, because it's white people. But as long as a Black person that kills you, it's acceptable. As long as they Black and you Black with regard to everything else, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But if it's a white person, then you got to get all upset and incensed and you got to do something and you got to participate and you got to be part of the code. And if you're not part of the code, then you're not really Black. And I'm the problem. I'm the problem when this nigga and the other one do this shit all the damn time. And they don't ever come out for none of y'all regular people when your family's Philly every night in Philly. I don't see none of them coming. Never. So it only matters when it's a white person. That is clear and obvious. Now their Black son went out there with them white kids. You mean like they've been doing because that's what the mother said? You mean because that's what they do here, I guess, in Mississippi? Oh, okay, my bad. Forget that part, y'all. Don't mention it.
Situations that there is this notion that, oh, it was nothing wrong, no foul play, let's just sweep it under the rug. Well, we refuse.
Why is he talking about let's just sweep it under the rug? And if you did want to help them, Ben Crump, why do you always have to come out here and do this fucking soliloquy news conference and incense people? Well, some of y'all, not me. Incense people, talk about things that are fanning the flames of racism, and then turn around and act like you're not doing it. And then want to make sure, because this will end up being a settlement for him. And a lot of people don't realize 33% is a lot depending on what the total is at the end of the daggone day. Please don't think that this man is doing this out of the benefit of his heart. I mean, his grift is his grift. So let him do what he do. It's clear and obvious, right? But where are people like Al or any of the other people that be telling ya who to vote for? Because that's what this is about too. when the regular things happen every day. There's no such thing as black on black crime, child. Classify it however the fuck you want to. I know damn well it's a nightly thing in Philly. I know damn well it's a nightly thing in Shadam Chicago. I know it's a nightly damn thing in both the fucking Moore. I don't see them coming out. I don't see Jennifer Lewis coming and singing a song for none of them. I don't see Eric Benet coming out to say nothing about that. So it only matters if you compare the amount of black killings by black people to the amount of white people that kill black people. You're telling me that this one is bigger than this one? And you're mad at me because I'm telling you what's the truth. So you're mad at me for that? Because you don't fucking care about black people. You don't fucking care about black people. You can be all pro-black as you want to say. I know these niggas don't. Al Sharpton been running this shit since somebody said Tawana Brawley and before then. But y'all believe in them motherfuckers. As they get rich and y'all stay in the same place. You ain't got shit.
To sweep it under the rug. We refuse to just let Nolan Wells' death be in vain. We are going to make sure that we get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
This is your lawyer, the truth with an F. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And here we go. And here we go. Cause I killed who? Well, how am I the problem? Who did I kill? Who? How am I the problem? Who the fuck did I kill? What the fuck? Y'all just be saying anything. The 92% must still be here.
Because Nolan deserves it. You're going to hear his mother and father talk about what a wonderful young man he was.
And he sounds and looks like he's a wonderful young man. Absolutely. On the right track, doing the right things, doing well in school, doing well in sports, all that stuff. I don't disagree. Got a whole ass great mother and father in the home to help him do that.
I mean, doing everything right. Reverend Al, he was not only a college student, he was a great athlete. He was a model big brother for his brothers and little brothers and sisters. And he was a great son who was on the cusp of becoming a man. I mean, Christina Elmore did everything to prepare him for this moment. He was so close. He was right there. You're gonna hear his father talk about him had a good football season last year, but this season he was really ready to go to the next level, to go to Division I. I mean,
Al, you shaking your head like you know. What's going on with the back there, sir?
The highlights that you're seeing on social media of his athletic prowess. I mean, it is all relevant because when you start talking about drowning, I mean, this is a kid who knew how to swim. This is a kid who was in tip-top shape.
Malcolm Jamal Warner knew how to swim too. Just remember that. Malcolm Jamal Warner knew how to swim too. YouTube pays me, and so do you by being here. Shout out to you. This is what black people do, y'all. You don't go along with the get along, and then all of a sudden, I'm a heifer. Child, add that on to the list. I don't give a fuck. Y'all don't bother me with that bullshit. Go ahead. Keep following behind these MFers.
Was a superior athlete. And so I'm going to get to that in a moment, these glaring contradictions, but to try to say, oh, we're suggesting it was just an accident of drowning, go ahead and move on. Well, they are not accepting it. They are not accepting it. They want to know that you have not taken the path of least resistance, that you have done a full, complete, thorough, impartial investigation.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
This is amazing.
Hold on. The difference between blacks killing blacks and whites killing blacks is that when we get caught, we get prosecuted. Those white boys get off without a real investigation. Well, there you go, y'all. Now you got your explanation. This is why nobody cares about the blacks with the blacks. Because then you get prosecuted, and then you say that the prosecution is racist in those cases too. Remember Julio Fulio? Y'all remember Julio Fulio? Sweat equity, that's racist. Oh, it's racist? But I thought y'all cared about black people, even if it's other black people. Save it. Just please save it. Y'all just be saying shit just to say shit. Thank you, Night J. She said, I have lost friends to weapon violence in Baltimore. I have never seen these people show up. None of them care for Black lives. I pay her. Shout out to you, boo. I appreciate you. It's the same shit. It's the same shit over and over and over again. And I'm not saying not to look into this, but I didn't know this investigation was over. So for him to come out here and make this spectacle and make this rounds, it is a play. That's all it is. And then if it don't go their way, they're going to say that it's racism. The only way this can go is to prosecute a white person. That's it. So if they don't, then it's racist. Just like what happened in Frisco. It's racist. If you don't get what you want, then it's racist. Gotcha. Anyway, come on, Ninja, hurry up.
Because it cannot be lost on anybody, but especially us in the Black community. If the roles were reversed.
Black community?
And you had 3.
Always if the roles were reversed. Always with the if the roles were reversed. Lord help your people.
Young Black men on a boat with a young white man. And that young white man ended up dead. What kind of investigation would be being conducted by the Mississippi law enforcement?
Why is he trying to say that they're not doing an investigation? Like, how soon did they think that this, it hasn't even been, it's a week today. It's been a week today. What did he think was going to be done? He ain't even get the damn shit back from the damn phone company yet. He hasn't even gotten it back yet for the deleted messages. I'm assuming he asked for it. He's a lawyer, right? To show what the hell the deleted messages were. Maybe when you can tell us what the deleted messages were, we can lean one way or the other. But at this point, you've got nothing. Just what if? What if? What if? All right, well, what if he didn't go?
Enforcement officials. How many times would those 3 young Black men be interrogated? So all we're asking is the same consideration you would have given if the roles were reversed. Give that consideration to this family as well. That is our fight. The glaring contradictions just jump out at you. The fact that he is there with his friends, and you look at all the videos, it seems to be he's the only Black on the island, or maybe one other, but not many. And so
they were okay with it. They were okay with it. But here we go again. He's the only Black guy there. The only Black guy there. Maybe one more. That's a bad situation, is it? They living in Mississippi. What are you talking about? Well, maybe were they supposed to move then? They were all right with it.
So, Jared, you have where a young woman he was talking to says that, well, Nolan said he was going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys say that Nolan told them he was going to stay and talk to the young woman. It's a contradiction. They're not saying the same thing. One of them is telling the truth. One of them is not. We have to get to the bottom of that. It's important. And then the fact, Reverend Al, that they have this video of an argument that is going on. And you know, thank God.
So Buddha says that only a judge can demand the messages be released. Well, that's released to the public. Yeah, I guess we don't really need it because Ben ain't gonna keep his mouth shut, trust me. But I assume that they requested it, right? I would think. I don't know. I would think.
All young people, they have cell phones, and anytime you hear people raising their voice, they start the video. And so you hear on the video, Nolan saying, "Give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?" And that becomes even more relevant when you think about the story that they are presenting, that Nolan chose to stay behind. That's what they're saying. But his phone, he wouldn't take that with him if he's going to stay behind.
Can I ask a question for those that know who Shanquella Robinson was? Was Ben down there to help out for that case to make sure that she got justice? I'm just asking. Oh, my bad. There was no one white involved. And I guess Mexicans don't count.
On the island, I mean, we're talking about an 18-year-old kid. What teenager would leave their phone behind if they're going to stay on this island? What teenager wouldn't take their phone? And so it's not adding up. It's not adding up at all. The fact, as Reverend Al said, you know, they didn't take his phone with them. His mother, when she finds out that her baby is missing, they start trying to track the phone, the GPS the phone. They've used Life 360, and they discover that, well, the phone is on land. The phone is on land, but you're saying he went missing on the island. And so it's not adding up. And so they go get the phone. And you hear her tell herself, when her and her sister start going through his phone, Jared, they realize that they're deleted messages, so they're trying to figure out.
Well, child, what do we need to hear from them for? You telling it all.
Well, why are there deleted messages on his phone? I mean, it becomes relevant when you start putting everything together where we can't just say, oh, there's no instance of foul play. We're going to get to the truth one way or the other. the fact that, and this really makes no sense to me, Reverend Al.
Took an handful.
This notion that, well, he drowned. Y'all have, I'm sure, seen all the videos out there. I mean, if he's drowning, nobody sees him drown. Nobody offers assistance. Nobody tries to help him. I mean, obviously, he stands out. He's, I think, the only black person I saw when I'm looking at the videos. And if you see him drowning, you mean nobody is going to try to help him? It's not adding up. It is not adding up. And that's why.
Yeah, we already said that makes sense. Now that part makes sense. If it was a drowning at 3:00 in the afternoon.
The family, at their behest, we had an independent autopsy being performed. And we thank Colin Kaepernick for helping to pay for that independent autopsy. And we thank Tyler Perry for helping to pay for the funeral. Because as Reverend Al said, these were just regular parents going about their life. They weren't expecting any of this. And then we're having.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on.
Family, at their behest, we had an independent autopsy.
Thank you, Locked and Loaded. I appreciate you for the gold coin.
Being performed. And we thank Colin Kaepernick for helping to pay for that independent autopsy. And we thank Tyler Perry for helping to pay for the funeral.
So Colin came in, Tyler Perry came in, and then one of y'all said that the GoFundMe is at 400,000. So I'm not even gonna say it, y'all. I give up. Just like with that Spin That song, I don't care. I do not care.
As Reverend Al said, these were just regular parents going about their life. They weren't expecting any of this. And then we're having to try to hire all these experts to be able to go.
Football, sassies, are y'all here? Any of you sassy straights played football and did well when you were younger? Do you know if it was an expensive thing to be a part of? Meaning, I only know about Girl Scouts, and Girl Scouts was not cheap. There was trips. There was trips out of the country. There were places they needed to meet and go do stuff. So if you was in football or something and you were doing well and you were like captain and all that, doesn't that get expensive? Even with bowling, it started to get expensive. All these things are expensive. Okay. So yes. Okay. So, all right. I'm not going to say it. All right. I'm not going to say it.
And see if they can retrieve deleted messages. We have to have experts. You'll hear from Attorney Park talk about, where the body was found when it was recovered and how long it took to be recovered. We think all of those are relevant issues to trying to understand what really happened to Nolan Wells. And this independent autopsy is so very important because we had his body flown from Mississippi to Washington, D.C. because his family wanted to make sure that they had a doctor who had no ties to Mississippi law enforcement to do an independent examination of their son's body. And we are hopeful to get that results in the very near future. We were hoping we would have had it today. However, as you all know, here in New York, they canceled all the flights.
All right, so one of one wants me to go ahead and rile some people up, okay? So this is what I'm gonna say. First of all, so we don't have life insurance at any time and any point as Black people. I've been talking about this since I came on this damn internet, going on 5 damn years, okay? Especially once we have children, we definitely need something to give to our children. God forbid if something should happen to us, right? That's what life insurance is for. Fine. Colin Kaepernick and the other one. Oh, so they came out to help these people? They always seem to come out just like with the Jennifer Lewis and the Eric Benet and the MC Light, no shade against MC Light, to come out and say something with regard to stuff like this. But how come they don't be saying stuff to the stuff going on every damn day? How come they don't be saying nothing about what's going on regularly? Somebody said in the chat earlier, how come they don't take this fervor in order to take care of what's going on in the Black neighborhoods, specifically the GANGs that's terrorizing them, so that all the people who don't have a way to get out and can't defend themselves can live a peaceful life? They never work on anything like that. Just let Joe Biden say, crime is down. As long as they say that crime is down, then everything must be everything, right? Okay. It's all racism, right? But this is not.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't Black.
That's acceptable. The creator of the crime bill, not to drag Joe into it, but to drag him into it. I'm just a little bit confused as to all this. We love black people, and you not on code. Why is it that all these celebrities don't ever come out for what's going on a daily, regular basis, of which they damn well know what's going on, especially in California, ain't got shit to say? Not one damn thing. Okay. Y'all can blame one of one for that, Brent.
Yesterday, and so it took a long time for his body to get to the medical examiner's office in Washington, D.C. But rest assured, as soon as we get those results, we will make them known to you, because we believe transparency is very important. We want to lead by example. We want them to be transparent, and we want to be transparent. We know they conducted an autopsy. We are waiting on their results as well. The final thing I will say is this. If there are any...
Let me move on. I'm tired of his mouth.
Get involved. And we shed some light, and we
sister
explain to the media what has happened, and you all let America know what has happened. Sometimes cases come, and you all already know about it. This is one of those cases. I saw this in the news before I got a call from Ben. This was already huge in social media, already out in general media. Why? Why? Because it doesn't take an attorney. It doesn't take a special investigator. It doesn't take someone with extreme training to know right off there's something wrong here. This is, as Ben has put it, not adding up. It is so obvious.
It's so obvious that they are putting this in front of the media. So as long as they put it in front of the media, y'all, it's okay. Remember with Carmelo Anthony, they said that they couldn't get a fair trial or something like that because of everything that was being said, but it's okay if they say it. I mean, how do we want fair and not want fair at the same damn time? Only fair if they think that it's fair, but anything else is not fair if it doesn't benefit this side, then it's not fair. But if it benefits this side, then it's fair. Tadisha, what page, child? What page?
There are so many people in this country that go missing, right? Everybody knows this. But this case has captured everybody's attention. Think about why. You know that some...
She's saying it. This has captured everybody's attention. Well, that's good for Ben and definitely good for Al with his NAN in the background. He got hands on Carmelo. He got hands in this, allegedly with Carmelo. The book is going. We done went through the whole thing.
Not right. It doesn't take us. It doesn't take the Reverend Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, to tell you and then think, oh, now I know something's wrong. We know something is wrong. And for every single person that was in Horn Island, and we know there's about 200 people, there's a lot of people. And we know that Horn Island is a popular place during the holidays. It's a popular place on the weekends. You have to get there by boat. It's the only way to get there. You have to leave by boat.
Ma'am, for those of us that know that, we know. Okay, ma'am, we know. I don't know why she keeps saying this. You got to get there by boat. Ma'am, the mother said that he always goes out there with these boys. So what are you saying? So is that supposed to mean something? In order to get to the vineyard, you got to take a ferry by boat. You can even put your cars on there. We've taken our cars over there before. So she thinks she's saying something to people that don't know. But ma'am, that's how you get there. That's what it is. That's how it works. She thinks she's saying something. Girl, if you don't go on, you're getting on my nerves. She must work for Ben.
The only way to leave. So many people out there. If you are watching this, if you see this, and you are struggling about what to say or what to do, you know what the right thing to do is. Call Ben Crump Law. There's this thing called the internet.
Call Ben Crump Law.
Easy to find that number.
This sounds like a commercial.
Call us. We have an entire
Call Ben Crump Law
call center. They're waiting to hear from you. If you didn't go to Horn Island, but you've heard something, because people are talking. They're talking with each other. They may not be calling the police. They may not be calling us. But you heard something. We need to know that.
Don't you love how the ignorance, the blacks come in here talking about I'm very ignorant. Yeah, you're very ignorant. Are you using the correct version of your? Child, just pipe down and watch the damn video, child. Stop embarrassing yourself.
We need to know that. In America today, so many of us, we want to believe that the last several decades, we've made so much progress in our race relations, don't we? We want to believe that, whether you're black or you're white or you're Asian, that's what we want to believe. We wanted to believe that this past 4th of July when we celebrated 250 years, right? If you want to believe that, you've got to be part of the solution. You've got to be part of that. You have to make it happen. And if you have information, please call us. It is incredibly important.
Oh, she is on the team. Call her, child. Give her a call, y'all.
People out there, you have answers. You may not know exactly what your information means, but if you saw something, say something, please.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
All right, we're going to hear from the parents.
Thank
and
you.
Then we'll have Q&A. And what I want is when we go to the media, identify yourself and your outlet so we know who is speaking. And let me say again that we're standing with this family till the very end and make sure we're dealing with justice. Let's first hear from the mother, Christine Wansley.
First of all, I want to say thank you, everyone, for being here. This is not how I wanted the world to meet my son, but here we are. So, as you know, I'm Christine Wells Wansley. I am Nolan Wells's mom. And Nolan is the kindest soul. He never met a stranger.
It's amazing.
He loved everybody. He didn't care if you were black, white, purple, green, looked like a marshmallow. Like, he just wanted everyone to be in peace with one another.
So Nolan wasn't racist, it sounds like.
He loved life, and God gave him this big heart, which always scared us. Me and his dad had conversations with him all the time, not just about the importance of understanding our history as Black people, but also the importance of how you have to move in certain spaces. And it's not us being, feeding into racism or the stereotypes that comes with that. Unfortunately, that is just a matter of fact. There have been many cases, many instances that shows that it's unfortunately a pattern that he did not like. He did not like that there was so much division, and I think that's why God gave him us. He was really a peacemaker. He wanted, like I said, everyone to be included. He never wanted to leave anyone out. He just, even at a young age, I don't know, he was, how old was he? No, not 18. He was a baby. He was a little bit. So his father and I were having a moment, and as couples do, and even in that moment, he runs in the room with his diaper on, of course, and he starts dancing because it was like he could feel the tension. He could feel that something wasn't right. So he was just a special kid. Like, he was a special kid, but again, just heart was so big. And we're gonna miss him dearly. But we are grateful, especially to our friend Tashima, who actually was one of the people who helped us that night. She went and picked up his cell phone from where it was, and then provided that to us, because we of course contacted authorities to figure out who to do the report with, whether it was the county or the city, which then turned into DMR, who I contacted immediately from there. So our friend, actually, when I called her, Nolan is best friends with.
You hear him in the background telling her what to talk about, right? That was Ben telling her. Make sure you talk about the cell phone. Okay. Yeah, he's trustworthy.
Her two sons, Jalen and Javon. When I called her, I said, Tashima, have you seen Nolan? He's missing. No one has seen him. No one has talked to him. The boys were actually with her sons. So they opened up their Snapchat, because a lot of the kids do have their locations where they're tracking one another. So one of the boys says, well, it's showing that, I can't exactly remember what his location was showing, but my Life 360 location was showing something completely different. It was actually showing that his phone was like he was on land. And so we ended up, she received the phone from that parent, and then we met up where his car was, which was at a separate location. There were issues obtaining the key, but even so, there was just a lot of.
So tell them about
this. It's amazing.
So I'm gonna let.
Now Al gets to tell her what to say. This is his mother. Why do y'all need to tell her what to say? Let her talk. Oh, no. Talk about this. Talk about that. Grifton.
My husband told me about that, because he actually went up to the door to get the key, because at that point, I was just not in my right mind. This has just been an awful situation. Just terrible.
Elmore Wansley, father.
Okay, so the situation with the key. When we got to the house, a few of his friends, they were already there, and they were at the door in the house, asking questions. So when I walked up, they were getting, things getting kind of tense. So I turned to them and told them, I need you guys to calm down. I don't do this to me right now. I need them to kind of trust me so they can give me something. So I was able to calm them down. So the guy he's in one of the pictures. But he came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, everywhere. I think Jax or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like, his car's parked in New York. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home? He walks off.
So I guess they spent the night at whoever's house that he's talking about. Who is he talking about? I don't know if he said it or not. Hold on.
In my right mind. This is
Okay, so the situation with the key. When we got to the house, a few of his friends, they were already there. And they were...
When we got to the house, what house did they get to, right?
At the door in the house, asking questions. So when I walked up, they were getting, things were getting kind of tense. So I turned to them and told them, I need you guys to calm down. I don't do this to me right now. I need them to kind of trust me so they can give me something. So I was able to calm them down. So the guy...
What are they hyped for? So he came over to one of their houses, I guess, because we found out they did spend the night at, we wasn't sure if they spent the night at Nolan's house or one of the other boys' house. So it looks like one of the other boys' house is where they spent the night at. So he came over, the father here, to get the keys to Nolan's car. So then they didn't come over to their house, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, most people are saying that, the boys came over to the parents' house and brought the phone to them, which we know is not true. The phone was wherever they found the phone, wherever Tanisha found the phone, but they didn't tell us where. We found out they were spending the night somewhere. They're not giving us the name, but they did spend the night somewhere, and that's where Nolan's car is. So now the dad came over, and now he's saying that they were giving him a hard time or getting aggressive or something. About what? For what? You're going to tell us, let us know that. What are they aggressive for? What did they say? Don't come here? Like, what did they say? So they was home sleeping. They was home chilling.
Give me something. So I was able to calm them down. So the guy, he's in one of the pictures, but he came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, everywhere. I think Jax or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys.
Jax. That's the name of one of them. I think we saw that last night. It was Jax, whichever one that was. That's what I heard him say.
The guy, he's in one of the pictures, but he came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, everywhere. I think Jax or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like, his car's parked in New York. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home? He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. I said, okay. So at that point, I get the boys and I get to move them out the house because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses because then would be a whole new situation. So walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house because apparently she was there with him earlier.
Hold on, child.
So walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys.
Wait.
Whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like, his car's parked in New York. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can
All right, go get the damn keys, Jax.
His car home. He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. I said, okay, so.
He can't find the keys, but clearly, I don't know this man's name. Mr. Wells must have came over with a group. It sounds like Mr. Wells came over with a group.
At that point, I get the boys and I get to move them out the house because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses because then there would be a whole new situation. So
that's what that part sounds like. He came over with some people, but he had to let them be, he had to let them chill so it don't turn into nothing. Shout out to Trey. Thank you for the press 5. Appreciate you. I'll read the super chats in a second.
Walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house.
How does a girl that's not here know that the keys are on top of the Xbox, y'all? That's a question. Who's on the phone with the girl? Who's this girl? And how does the girl know where the keys are inside of Jax's house? We finally getting somewhere. Like, this is information, not all this damn speculation.
For houses because then there would be a whole new situation. So walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house.
How does she know this? How's this random? What's the girl? East B, thank you so much for the gold coin. How does she know this? She know Jax's house that well? Did she spend the night with him the night before? Allegedly, child. I don't know.
Thanks for the tip.
How does she know? How's she know where Nolan's keys are? Is she a person of interest? How come she knows how come she know what Jax's bedroom looks like? Allegedly, I'm assuming it's his bedroom, right? Lively Cuts, thank you for the jewels. Appreciate you, boo.
Because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself.
Okay, the daddy just said it. Apparently she was there earlier.
To the house and started tearing up these people's houses because they'd never be a holding the situation. So walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and 5 minutes later, the keys come out. So now I feel like you done lied to me. So now I'm really like in distress with you. But as far as the night goes, if I knew anyone who had a boat, I would have went out that night looking for my son. We tried, but
if he knew what? Hold on.
I'm really like in distress with you. But as far as the night goes, if I knew anyone who had a boat, I would have went out that night looking for my son. We tried, but I don't have friends with boats. But if I knew someone with one.
Can you go out with out on a boat at night? Philly boy, thank you for the gold coin. Can you go, because we was just talking about alligators earlier, right? So if it was dark by this time, which I'm assuming it is since Jax woke up and his hair was all messed up, right? Could you go out there at night? Could you go out there at night, or would you be worried about alligators? I don't know. I would think no. I mean, I understand. He said he didn't know. He said he don't have friends with boats, so he didn't go out. Maybe he would have went out. Maybe it would have made a difference. But if Nolan was last seen at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and then the Mr. Wells is now over at Jax's house, and no one knows or heard him between 3 o'clock in a bright ass afternoon up until it got dark around 9:30. Yeah, that's a problem. Those are some questions that need to be answered. That's why we need to hear from him. I don't need to hear from Ben Crumb. I don't need to hear from Al Sharpton. I know why they're here, to grift. Azriel, thank you so much, hon. He said, I like what you do, gorgeous lady. We just need to pray he gets justice. If he was harmed, wish I could donate more. That's fine. I appreciate you, and I agree with you completely. Instead of just jumping to conclusions like so many people are and thinking that they know what's what, no one knows anything. That's why we need to hear from his parents. I don't need to hear from Ben and Al. They're up here for their own interest. And, you know, y'all support them, but they grifters. That's all they are. Thank you so much. Shout out to Elsie for the 5. I appreciate you, hun. Shout out to Sank Fan in the building. I appreciate you, boo. He said, good afternoon, Reverend Dr. Messi, and peace to the chat. I truly feel bad for the family, but the grifters got to go. Tired of seeing them exploit folks' pain. That is what they do. And then they do all this to get a damn payday. Al been doing it forever, and Ben is pulling up on his bumper child. And also the dude in the Carmelo Anthony case, that National Action Network dude, whatever his name is, the baby shaking minister.
Son, we tried, but I don't have friends with boats. But if I knew someone with one, I would have went out that night. And it so happened that his coach saw all the stuff on Facebook the next morning and called and contacted me like 5 a.m, asked me if we want to go out. And I told him yes. So within an hour, he was at the dock. We met him and we went out.
Nice. Okay, so the coach of Nolan saw what was going on, called him and said, you can go out on my boat. That was nice because Mr. Wells said that he don't know people with boats.
Out that night. And it so happened that his coach saw all the stuff on Facebook the next morning and called and contacted me like 5 a.m, asked me if we want to go out. And I told him yes. So within an hour, he was at the dock. We met him and we went out. We docked the boat, got out the boat, walked on the island, walked a pretty nice stretch, came back, got back on the boat, went around the island, looked, came back around, and where we went to, that's where apparently they say that his body floated up. I don't know a lot about water currents over there, but I would think that we would have saw his body. Mm-hmm. And on the trip there was a family that stayed a night on the island, like actually tented out on the island. So if he was left, he would have saw that family on the island, and it was 2 other boats docked, so he would have had help. So I don't know. I think we stayed there for like an hour and a half. That's when Jackson County and the sheriff department showed up, and they were going to do their rounds. And I had a classmate of mine, him and his 2 boys, that came out and they searched, and then they got back in touch with me and said the Coast Guard had finally showed up in airplane. So
what is so critical, what Elmo is saying is they went out on Sunday, and the tide, if it brought his body up, he went missing on July 4th, as they say. His body should have been there on July 5th. Why would it not appear to July 6th? And that's one of those things that's...
Where's the video? I know there's a video. I haven't seen it, right? A news program or something. Do y'all know where they pulled him out because they found the body? Anybody know like what station that might be on so I can see if I can find that? Because I didn't see that. So if he went missing on July the 4th, they didn't find him until July the 6th on Monday. Is that what happened? I take what he says with a grain of salt.
That's not adding up. And the fact that if he stayed behind on the island, there were boats there. There were people. Somebody had to see something. That's why it's not adding up. And that's what they're saying. It's just not adding up.
Yes. And if he was there 2 days, somebody on the island would be able to verify that. 2 days and nobody's come forward and say, no, he was with us or no, we saw him. It just does not make sense. Make it make sense.
If he was last seen at 3:00 on the 4th and then the body didn't show up until the 6th, which was Monday, and then they're saying that there were people that stay on the island. So if he needed help, he could have went and saw one of them, but nobody said that they saw him or helped him or heard him. So are they saying that somebody initially kidnapped him or something? Wow. Susan said, your body will sink initially, then gases will build up in your body and it will float up 24 to 48 hours later. Bernie, thank you for the happy poop. Y'all so crazy. As sad as it is, that's what happens to your body. So your body will sink. So you don't have to worry about alligators in this part of the water, I guess, would be my question. If you know. Wrinkle said, my little cousin was found 2 days later after drowning on Galveston Island. Sorry to hear that. Okay. I wonder if his body showed signs of being hit by a propeller. Okay. Elsie says the body of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was found in the water just off the northwestern tip of Horn Island on the Mississippi Gulf Coast on the morning of July the 6th, according to Google. Thank you, Boo. I appreciate that. It's a lot going on. All right, well, here we go. Now, here's some questions. Real Spills. Shout out to you, Boo. I see you. I appreciate you. He said, shout out to Izzy Baines. He says, great job, my sister. Yeah, they found him on the 6th. Okay. I don't know nothing about water currents. I don't know about your body sinking to the ground. So we're just sussing this out as we usually do without listening to them, but listening to his parents. Okay, thank you, Izzy. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Johnny says no gators in this section or whatever. Okay, all right. Well, there you go. Because people are always talking about gators and the alligators and watch out for the gators. That's what I heard when I was there. Susan says the alligators will come after you after the smell. A body won't smell so quickly. As sad as that is, I have acknowledged my husband has recovered a few bodies. Oh, wow. He's a scuba diver. Oh, wow. Okay. Good information. I appreciate you for letting us know. Wow. This is crazy. This is a lot.
Just one last thing. We want her to talk about the cell phone deleted messages. I'm sorry. I thought my voice was loud enough. One last thing. We want to have Christine talk about the cell phone from her perspective.
So when we made it home, my sister and I actually went through Nolan's cell phone, particularly Snapchat, because that is so popular with the children. And when we opened it up, there was nothing. There were no saved pictures. There were no snaps from that day. And we did open it before the 24-hour expiration. So we found that very concerning, only because anyone who's ever been around Nolan will tell you at social gatherings, he's taking videos, he's taking pictures, he's even come up to me when I'm getting ready to go to bed. Hey, Mom, come on, take a picture of me. You know, like that was Nolan. So that's why we feel that things may have been deleted, was because of the fact that there was nothing in either one of his accounts. But I do want to say this. I would hope that any parent who, God forbid, would be in our situation, I would hope that you would do the same thing. I would hope that you would ask for any help, receive any help to get answers, because at the end of the day, that's all we want. We just want to know. We just want to know what happened and why our baby didn't come home. Like that's our biggest thing. And we are so grateful to everyone, family, friends, classmates, United Cajun Navy, everybody that's assisted us. We appreciate you. There's not enough thank yous. that we could say or give to you, but I just, we just want to know. We want an honest, thorough investigation. That's all we're asking for.
Do you want to say something about who Nolan was, and then
Nolan is a person with a big heart. He's loved by not just his family, but the community. He's a born people person. He really developed a bond with his baby brother because both of them play the same position. So he was really understanding the business side of the sport, which is football, and understand that it's not just a game you're playing. So the stuff that I was telling him, it was kind of starting to sink into him, and he was no really getting more in depth into it. And I could see as he did that, his baby brother really started getting more into it as well, as far as being more focused, because he saw, well, if my big
is that guy his brother, since they're blurring everyone out except for the one other black guy?
Brother is about to go.
I'm just wondering. Ms. Mo, thank you for the England Jules. Appreciate you. Shout out to all of y'all that are here. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
This great thing, then I want to do this great thing, but I want to do it better. That's why that's what made them so like vinegar and oil. It was like they was always at each other, but they were the same. When I look at my youngest, I'll say Nolan, or when I look at Nolan, I'll say my youngest name. So they would train together. I would always say, hey, you did some push-ups, you ran some routes, and they know when I say it.
Thank you, Ms. Mo, for the flowers. I appreciate you. Shout out to Louisiana Louis, my bad. Thank you, Louis. He says Black women account for approximately 240,000 to 250,000. Thank you, Ms. Mo, for the silver star. Black women account for approximately 240,000, 250,000 ABs per year. This is a much larger demonic issue engulfing the Black community. All right, well, thanks for the stats. Not sure how that plays into this, but thank you so much for your support. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
Next day, they're out there running routes. Even my other son, he'll go out there. He doesn't play their position, but he will go out there and work and exercise and work out because they will understand.
See how they will show him, but not the others? Is you think that might be his brother?
Understanding what I was talking about, they were becoming men. So this was his time. He would always talk to me. I would always give him my advice about stuff. I always try to tell him what to look for. And I was always telling him, I said, so I'm giving you this advice and I'm telling you this stuff, but you're going to have to experience this. But when you experience it, it won't be foreign to you. You'll have some kind of idea of how to navigate through it. And I think me and his mother, I think we did a great job with that. That's why it's so hard for me to believe that he would choose to stay on the island. It just wasn't his character. It wasn't his character. So Nolan is the funniest kid in our family. Speaking of the time she was talking about, we were having a kind of heated moment. And I don't know if you guys remember, the dance called Stanky Leg. I think my son created it because we were sitting in the closet looking and just like talking. He literally came to the closet door and peeked around and stood in front of him and just started doing this little crazy dance. And I was like, we just bust out whatever we was talking about, we stopped laughing, then we called him to us and we just hugged and laughed and played. But then maybe 6 months later, the song did a hit. But we always said he created the Stanky Leg dance. But that's my greatest memory of my son.
What are you telling your other children about this?
My son Ethan, he's hurting. These are the ones these are the younger ones. He's like, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, son, you gotta keep going because he would want you to be better. His youngest brother Elmore, the one that really worked out with him, he was like, I'm hurting, Dad, but I said, Nolan wants you to be the best he can be. He would want you to outdo him. And whenever you feel like you're in a bind or having some kind of problem, call on your brother, talk to your brother. My twins, the loss of a younger sibling is hurting them. They have to figure out how to navigate through life without them. And my daughter Carly, with her being away, it's really hard for her because she's not around family now. So she's out on her own, doing life like does, but she's doing it on her own. So she has to do this by herself. We're here, by phone, but we're not there in person. So she really has to draw on the people that's around her when she's not home. So all together, my family, this is gonna be our new norm. He was the jester in my court. And yeah, he will be missed. Great, not by us, but by the whole community.
We will announce the funeral services when it is finalized, and we'll be going.
Guess who's going to be speaking at the funeral services?
To help I will officiate at the funeral in Mississippi. Again, we'll take your questions, but identify who you are, and please be respectful to families in mourning. But because they want justice for their son, they came to New York to make this appeal. But let's not make this a circus.
Says the ringmaster.
Yes.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm not about to sit here and not listen to hear people from off the damn camera. These people, I can't. Rest in peace to Nolan and comfort to their family, to his mother and father and brothers and sisters. But these people are so freaking obvious that even Jason Whitlock saw it. So
This is amazing.
He says his title is Ben Crump and Al Sharpton hold Dumb and Dumber Nolan Wells press conference.
And it's Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, the civil rights terrorist / activist, are in New York City talking about a boating tragedy that happened in Mississippi. They're in New York City talking about a boating tragedy that happened in Mississippi. I think these people used to be called carpetbaggers. I think that's what we used to call them. They used to be liberal white people that would come down to the South and stir up trouble. Now we have liberal black people, Marxist black people, race idolaters in New York City coming down to Mississippi to stir up trouble. And there's a bunch.
Child, him and these pictures that he be coming up with. But I'm in agreement with him. Y'all already know. Proud American says it took us 3 days to find a missing man after eyewitnesses said where he went down. It's not as easy as just going down and getting them. You have to search in very murky water. I don't disagree with you. Just like when they brought up currents yesterday. Like, and even if people know how to swim, Malcolm Jamal Warner was an excellent swimmer and he drowned. So I'm not saying that that's what happened. And like, we have questions now if the grifters would allow the damn parents to speak, but they over there shuffling them around like they're instructing a damn show. We finally heard what they had to say and it's like, oh, okay. I got it. I hear you. So there are some questions. But given what the other lady said earlier and someone else about once, you go down to the bottom and then it takes a while before you come up to the top, then that might also explain why it took almost 2 days in order for them to find the body.
Two different ways I want to cover it. And I believe, am I right? Shamika, Michelle, and Virgil are going to join me at some point whenever I shut up and quit talking. They're here now, but I want to set up a couple of different conversations. I'm going to start with my dumb and dumber take. Because Ben Crump, and what really, really annoys me about him is just how certifiably, undeniably stupid he is. I've never seen a lawyer who's called this civil rights icon who is this illiterate and can barely communicate.
Has he won a case, y'all? I mean, has he literally won any case or do they just settle and then he gets paid off of it? You know, that's how it works. Like, for being a lawyer, what case has he tried? Well, what case has he tried and won? Anybody, Bueller? Let me tell you something. If I had a son, I would not call Ben Crump. I don't need that nigga. What the fuck do I need him for? And trust me, Ben ain't gonna come unless a white person is involved. I don't know why y'all love that man. He can barely speak properly. What case has he won? What case has he fought and won? You can dislike Jason Whitlock. I don't care. The question on the table is, what case has he fought and won? What he does is he gets he gets people riled the fuck up, and then people get incensed, riled up, they settle, he gets paid 30, probably 33%. That's typically what it is for a lawyer. Oh, but he cares about black people? All right, y'all.
What lawyer can barely communicate? I've only lived 59 years. Perhaps some of you have lived longer. Perhaps some of you have seen more than I have in 59 years. But communication is very important for a lawyer. This guy communicates like he has CTE.
Damn.
He is definitely dumb.
I mean, he ain't lying.
Al Sharpton's a better communicator, but he's even dumber.
Which one?
And so, dumb and...
Name them. All these high-profile cases, when did he go into court and go prosecutor versus defense versus prosecutor? When? What one?
Dumber are holding a press conference in New York City trying to take advantage of a tragedy that happened in Mississippi.
How about that?
This is incredible. Did we have to tolerate
thank you, Keem Tube, for the floating hearts. I appreciate you, boo.
This stuff. That we live in this time where this type of racial animus and gamesmanship and games playing, this is Black Chud the Builders. The yin to his yang or whatever, but that's all. This is Black Chud the Builder. Chud went around trolling black people saying the N-word. Dumb and Dumber get on camera and troll white people by saying racist.
Yeah, it's about the same.
One of these guys, I mean, And I just, in all trans, I've met Ben Crump. We were in Las Vegas at the same time, I'd say 10, 12 years ago. I was upstairs at the...
So then you self-hate yourself, nigga, because you just called me dumb, you jackass. Like, what are we talking about? See, child, y'all go find Dumb and Dumber and go listen to them, okay? Because clearly, this is not the place for y'all. Why don't y'all go on? Nope, you won't. But that's okay, because all views matter.
VIP Sportsbook for the MGM. And Ben Crump was in the booth next to me. And I was like, man, that's Ben Crump. And I can't, this was maybe the Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown case, or one of these cases was still bubbling in the news. And we sat down next to each other and had a conversation. We disagreed, but we exchanged pleasantries and conversation. I'd say 30 minutes, an hour.
All right.
Person, PSYOP, or I wasn't using the word PSYOP, but like E 2.0. This is a race crime. And the next thing you know, on July, Twitter, social, there were kids arguing. And maybe there was a fight beforehand. There's been all this endless speculation. And the 3 white kids made it home, and Nolan Wells didn't. It must be racism. They must have killed him. Been no autopsy. The body washes ashore on July the 6th. It's now July the 10th, 4 days later. But starting on July 6th, Twitter and social media does what it does and turn this into, well, this is Austin Metcalf 2.0. This is Carmelo Anthony 2.0. This is a race crime. And the next thing you know, on July the 7th, Dumb shows up. The parents of Nolan Wells hire Ben Crump. You hire Ben Crump because you want money, not justice. Ben Crump.
Uh-oh. I ain't say that. He said that. I ain't say that. He said that. So allegedly he won 4 cases. Let me ask Google. Let me ask ChatGPT.
He's not involved in the justice business. He's involved in the financial shakedown business. And he's an idiot. Look, I haven't spent a lot of time in Mississippi. I have spent a lot of time in the South. I know what smart country sounding people sound like in the South. And I know what dumb people sound like in the South. Ben Crump is dumb. Let's play Sapphire.
Family is not accepting that it was an accidental drowning.
Hold on a second, Cha. Hold on a second. How many cases has Ben Crump won? I hate this new thing. There is no official, independently verified total for how many cases Ben Crump has won over the course of his career. Lawyers generally do not have a publicly maintained win-loss record, especially because of many civil cases and in settlements rather than trials. Because many civil cases end in settlements rather than trials. Exactly. It's a fucking grift every single time.
They haven't been told anything, but that's been the suggestion, and they're not accepting that because Nolan was a college football player. He was a superior athlete. He was in great fitness and condition, and so for them to try to say, well, we got his phone, but we don't know where he's at, and then he turns up dead, they are not accepting it, and there's so many questions, so many contradictions.
And then he turns up dead. There are so many contradictions. This is a dummy. And I know I'm not supposed to say that. I know, Jason, that's racist. You're a sellout. He's an idiot. I've been listening to this man talk for years. None of the points he makes are logical. Oh, he's got a law degree, Jason. How can you question his intelligence? You don't understand this country. You don't know what lengths they'll go to install racial agitators. Getting him a law degree, getting him through law school. And again, these things aren't accidental. These people are planted years ago and developed. And there's a reason why Ben Carson isn't seen as some sort of leader, why Clarence Thomas isn't seen as some type of leader, that only ignoramuses.
Yeah, that is interesting. So Ben Crump is the leader, but Clarence Thomas isn't. Okay, so it's in the book, Tadisha. What black can we accept? Not this one who's a Supreme Court justice, but this one who's a mushmouth and who's a grifter. And I'm not saying that Clarence Thomas is an innocent with regard to anything, but how is it one is okay and the other one is not?
Get installed and promoted by the media as some sort of civil rights icon and leader. Here's a man with no command of the English language. And somehow they fooled everybody into, oh man, this is a brilliant lawyer, graduated from Florida State Law School and, passed the bar and, been the president of the National Bar Association. They've given him a resume to use him in this capacity. There's no autopsy.
Right.
And he's out running around fanning the flames of racism without any proof.
I don't know why people don't see this. He's absolutely right.
This is a bona fide idiot. This is whatever rapper you can think of. You don't see the pattern here?
Yes.
Rappers. The media loves to go to them. And let's go find out what Snoop Dogg thinks about whatever. Let's sprinkle a little Snoop Dogg on everything.
Or Jennifer Lewis, or what is his name? Halle Berry's ex-husband, whatever his name was. And what's the other one? MC Lyte. Let's see what they got to say.
Let's go talk to Jay-Z about what the black community should do.
While they mad at Jay-Z because he went and put his daggone music into Target, and now he's doing a concert, of which I'm sure he will sell out.
These idiots are installed. Remember, I wish I had the clip
Thank you.
What's his name? Birdman from Cash Money Records is speaking at a jail. You think a book and reading is going to help you? These are the type of leaders that are installed and put in front of black people by the system, by the power structure, by the puppet masters. Ben Crump has been installed. Al Sharpton has been installed. Man has owed back taxes for decades, but somehow the government allows him to run around. These are MK Ultras. These are the people placed in front of black people and said, these are your role models. They can barely speak English. They're borderline retarded. They give you nothing but bad advice. And they're there to stir racial animus and to make you angry with white people and for white people to be angry with black people. Let's play shot 6 of Ben Crump.
On top of the fact that we know there are videos circulating where there's
he's definitely shining
argument where you hear Nolan arguing with somebody, and we're trying to say this is too much to just try to sweep under the rug. No, we want to have a thorough investigation as if it was 3 black boys and a white boy who was with them ended up dead. We want that same investigation.
So, kid goes missing on July 4th, washes ashore where he can be found on July 6th. On July 7th, the family hires Ben Crump. So Ben Crump's never met Nolan Wells. I doubt he's talked to any kid that was out there at this party cove on boats. So these 3 kids that they're accusing of having done something to Nolan Wells, he's never met or talked to them, but he's talking about them and this incident as if he's some sort of expert. How? How can you acquire that kind of expertise in just a couple of days? From talking to the parents? How do you-
Again, the reason why I want to hear from the parents and not from him, but he make sure he talking, taking over, telling them what to say, when to say it. Al doing the same thing. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
He did phenomenal. He was looking forward to getting an NIL deal with Division I football. He had everything going for them.
Wait. What's the NIL? I know NIL is not that thing that the other colored community was telling the young people not to take in order to show somebody in honor of, was it Carmelo? I forget. Y'all remember when the black community was telling the youngers who was about to go to school for on scholarships for football, and people like Roland was telling them not to take the scholarships in the name of somebody? Who is that, y'all? And of course I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Isn't that what that was, Lawrence? You know what I'm talking about? Fools, I tell you.
And his family just can't believe that he's gone.
Right there. This man was playing football, allegedly, at a community college. This is no sort of high-end high school football star. He was looking forward to get an NIL deal with a Division I team. There's no proof of that.
Yes. Thank you.
Ben, he was playing football at a community college. Ben, that's what he was doing. This is a retard.
Jason, you can't say that. That's not politically correct.
I know I'm not supposed to say that. I should have sympathy, but just because they put him in a nice suit doesn't stop him from being a retard. This man has CTE.
Yes. Shout out to Fob. That's what it is. They were telling those young black athletes, mostly males, okay, it was females in there, but mostly black males, to not take their scholarships to protest the daggone redistricting that was done in Tennessee. This is what they were saying. Mostly D9ers. Now you got Ben out here talking about he was about to go to college to have this and have that. Well, wait a damn minute, nigga, because over here you was telling him not to take it. Where's this at in the book, Tadisha? Child, the hypocrisy.
Looking forward to. Does he have Parkinson's? What? Shamika, Virgil, welcome in to the show. Virgil, I'll start with you. Am I being too hard? Am I being too hard on Ben Crump? He is the civil rights leader. The situation.
I think your Ben Crump impersonation is spot on, and it's disappointing. But Jason, I want to start here because as I heard the story unfold, I think my wife actually brought it to me, and one of the reasons why it was so jarring for us was I have a son who's 21 years old. He is traveling. He's out in another part of the country.
Are you talking about Nolan Fa? He said Youngboy wasn't about to get an NIL deal. He was going to a junior college. They don't give NIL deals. Oh, and he wasn't at a D1 school. Ben Crump is just... All right, Sassy Straits. That's why I need y'all. I don't know nothing about the sports aspect of any of this. So, y'all, is that accurate? They did just say it was a community college, too. They did say that. Wow. Time says, are we going to forget about Shanquella? No, we talked about her earlier. They're not doing anything. They don't seem to care about her. There was no one white involved. Them people then went on, lived their lives, changed their names, probably moved out of the country. Anyway, thank you, Boo. He says he got CTE, BET, CDT, Lakers, and 5, child. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I got about 10 more minutes of this and I'm done.
Involved in sales. And so I immediately thought, and his friend group is multifaceted, white kids, black kids, and the whole nine. And my thought was, how would I feel if I received the call that something had first of all happened to my son, only to find that he had died under strange circumstances. And my heart, as I thought through that, just sunk into my stomach. I could not think of how I would feel as a dad who wants to protect his son, who wants to make sure that he's cared for and okay. I'd be concerned about the circumstances. One of the things I would never do in that instance, even under immense grief, would be to call Ben Crump.
Exactly. I feel like that's just, I don't know. It's not a good look, child. You telling me that they would be better off calling that lawyer that got Chow off. I forget his name. I know you remember his name, Fa. That dude that called that got Chow off. Ben Crump don't fight cases, child. He does settlements.
There's no circumstance on the planet. There's no amount of money in the world that would cause me in my overwhelming grief to call Ben Crump and to have him and Al Sharpton represent anything related to understanding the facts around the death of a son. That would not be something I would do. It would be a waste of time and energy and the like. And then to have them arrest the narrative for their own economic purposes, for their own value add is absolutely unbearable. For them to monetize the tears of that family so that they could be in front of an audience and see and be relevant and to seek attention, claiming to know the last clip you showed, claiming to know this boy, trying to offer up some sense of who he was, having all of the facts wrong. Like, don't do that. Of all the things that you could do, it would be to take the time to understand who this young man was if you're going to represent him, and be able to articulate who he was in the right context. I don't know how that wouldn't, for that family, be an absolute record scratch and an immediate point at which I'd pick up the phone and say, you're off the case, because you're not representing who my son was accurately. That alone should be sufficient. The call should have never been made. But there's so many facets to this, Jason, that I think are important for us to think about, because this racializing of every situation and every issue is absolutely ridiculous. And it's sad that it's so easy for it to happen in the Black community, given the history.
Because as we see, Blacks go right along with what the script is. Don't wait for any information. Don't wait for anything verifiable. If TikTok says it, it must be true. And if they Black, we Black, I'm Black, then you got to believe it. And be looking crazy most of the damn time. Just fucking wait. Damn, it's okay to wait. What is the rush? We can't do anything anyway. Ben don't know shit. Ben don't know shit. Whatever he know, the parents know. So let's talk to them and hear from them, not his mushmouth ass.
No, from BLM to Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, all of this should cause us pause. We should go, that's probably not the right call.
I've been seeing this go on for years and years. I think about the Jenna 6 case down in Jenna, Louisiana, and I went down there as a journalist in late 2000s, 2006, 2007, somewhere, and got to the bottom of that case. Allegedly, 6 Black boys were overcharged by police because they nearly beat a white kid to death, and they came up with this narrative, this story. Well, they only beat him up because 4 or 5 months previous, someone had hung a noose at the school, and the school didn't properly discipline or investigate that. And that's why 4 or 5 months later, they nearly beat this white kid to death. And the whole world, Jesse Jackson was in on that. Al Sharpton was in on that. And I went down there and it's like, no, actually, there's this white liberal minister from Texas that came up with this narrative and this theory. Alan Bean, I believe was the guy's name. And it's like, it's over and over and over again. It never stops. No matter how many times they get busted, it never stops. But I didn't think, this is what like takes my mind away, is like Jesse Jackson had a measure of intellect and some previous credibility that like, I could see how they could make that sell. Shamika, I don't know how they're making these sales over and over again. But then, I just don't see how they're just doing it. He's a retard. I don't, it blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Just listening to him talk makes me laugh. I can't take him seriously. Listen, I wouldn't have a problem with the family wanting to get to the bottom of this, wanting to ask questions, to get some type of clarity, uncover everything, turn over every stone, interview the fish. That's not my problem. My problem, though, is running with the race narrative and then bringing in Ben Crump, bringing in Al Sharpton, the people that will hijack whatever to make it about race. Honestly, there could be some foul play involved, but not necessarily just because he's Black. They could have argued.
That's it. That's the point right there. But colored community don't want to hear that. They just want to jump straight to race as they're trained to do when you don't know anything. I'm trying to understand. I want to know how that girl knew them damn keys was on top of the Xbox. That's what I want to know for sure. How she know that? She was in that room? Why was she in that room?
Over a female. It could have been some money involved. They could have been drinking and he fell off the boat and they didn't know what to do. So many other things that could have gone wrong. They want to jump to, it's because of race. It's because we're in Mississippi. And I just think that's the wrong path to take. The
absolute disgusting way to do it. Emmett Till got killed here. Nigga, so the fuck what? They still live there though, even though Emmett Till got killed there. They still decided to make their home there.
Bringing in Colin Kaepernick and Tyler Perry, all of your usual, Spike Lee, just making this about race, I think is the wrong thing to do. Acting as if, white people are just inherently racist and evil. I think it's the wrong thing. I wouldn't have a problem with the parents saying, hey, we just want to get to the bottom of this. Right. It's the race narrative, though, that I'm sick of, and I just think it's the wrong thing.
That's it. Shout out to Uncle Rick in the building. That's it. It's been one fucking week. Everybody knows what happened. Oh, I heard him say this. Y'all, please.
You've nailed it. But particularly in terms, they're pushing a lot of chips into this table. They got Spike Lee at this press conference. What does Spike Lee have to do with this?
Spike Lee was there?
Isn't he still partying with the New York Knicks for winning the title?
Spike Lee was there, y'all. I didn't see that.
I mean, is he some sort of expert? Why? Why is Tyler Perry there? A lot of chips are getting pushed into the table, and it's like the MK Ultra class of Hollywood celebrities and the Al Sharptons and the Ben Crumps. I think, and this is it's because it happened in Mississippi, and whether or not there's a shred of truth to it, you can just frame everybody in Mississippi as racist. The black people, they're even racist. They hate black people, and they participate. The fish in Mississippi, they're racist. And people will believe it, and just think that there's no way he could have really been friends with these white boys and been out on his boat. That's Mississippi, and it's like, the people that only have heard about Mississippi through books or TV shows or movies, like they're going to buy that, like everybody in Mississippi is a screaming, retarded racist. And I think that if this happened any place else, Buffalo or anywhere in Texas, but it's Mississippi, and black people have been brainwashed into believing that everything in Mississippi, the grass is racist, the trees are racist, farts are racist in Mississippi. That Mississippi.
Listen, I was there for 4 days. I didn't experience any racism for 4th of July weekend. Praise the Lord for that. Praise the Lord for that. But the fact that they want to say, it's Mississippi, it's racism. Well, child, according to the NAA, they said that it's racism in Florida. Child, name me a state where there's no racism, Bueller. I need somebody to name me a state where there's no racism, Bueller. Anybody? Atlanta, maybe? Maybe they don't have any racism in Atlanta.
She was fucking his best friend. So, I mean, everybody's fucking down here in Atlanta. I don't know what to tell you. They breeding like rabbits down here. Everybody getting ass.
There you go. Are you hard of hearing? Like, there's Jason is right. There's a lot of ret people around here. Y'all want shit to be racist so damn bad. Then let it be that then. You don't even understand. Y'all don't listen. All right, I got this, Lawrence. Y'all are the people that are the problem. Y'all are the people that are the problem. Oh, it's Mississippi, it's racism. Well, if it was in Tennessee, would it be racism? If it was in Idaho, would it be racism? If it was in North Dakota, would it be racism? If it was in South Dakota, if it was in Colorado, would it be racism? I'm just a little bit confused about that. I'm confused because none of y'all know shit. And I know damn well Ben Crump don't know shit because the only people that know shit who don't know shit are the parents. That's it. Nobody knows shit. It's been a fucking week. No one has anything except for a bunch of fucking speculation. But it's racism. It's racism. The parents just said that they've been going with them boys for over a year. Yeah, because only white people live there. Notice that's the only thing that Ben has to say. That's the only thing that Al has to talk about. Get people like that person, the rest of them all incensed and riled up so they can donate $400,000 almost. Let me go over here to the GoFundMe. You get Colin Kaepernick to donate money. You could get Tyler Perry to donate money. You could get Jennifer Lewis to start running off at the mouth and all the rest of them. And then if you don't think it's racism, then you're the problem. No, y'all are the problem because you think everything is racism. You don't take into account anything else just because mush mouth Ben motherfucking Crump said so. Anyway, so here is the GoFundMe. They need $450,000. They've raised $397,992. They have 9,600 donations. So shout out to them. How much did Carmelo get? Didn't he get like 700,000 or something? It says in love and memory of Nolan Xavier Wells, our hearts are broken beyond words. Nolan Xavier Wells was a beloved son, grandson, brother, friend, and teammate whose life touched so many people. His smile, kind heart, and love for others left a lasting impact on everyone who knew him. After an extensive search involving countless volunteers from the United Cajun Navy, first responders, local law enforcement, the United States Coast Guard, and organizations from across the region, our worst fears became reality. Now remember later on when the color community comes through and says this is all racist, right? Because they just now gave thanks to the United Cajun Navy, the first responders, the local law enforcement, and the United States Coast Guard and other people from the region who helped them to figure out where their son was. So, because 15 minutes later, it'll be all these people are racist as well. While no words can ease the pain of this unimaginable loss, we are deeply grateful for every person who searched, prayed, shared his story, and stood beside our family during these difficult days. As we begin the painful journey of laying Nolan to rest, we are asking for help to ease the financial burden placed on our family. Funds raised will be used for funeral and memorial expenses, celebration of life services, and any additional costs associated with honoring Nolan's memory. Any remaining funds will help support the family as they navigate the difficult days ahead. If you are unable to donate, we ask that you continue to pray for our family and share this fundraiser. Your kindness, compassion, and support mean more than words can express. All money raised goes directly to the family. Thank you for standing with us, for loving Nolan, and for helping us honor a life that ended far too soon. Forever loved, forever remembered, never forgotten. And there you go. So there's that. Shout out to Uncle Rick. I appreciate you. He says, I truly believe they want a race war. I do. I agree with you. They need a wild card to push socialism back to the forefront, especially now people are leaving the party. I trust you on that part, but they definitely want a race war. And then they'll say it's white people. And I'm not saying that white people have absolved from anything, because they can be some jackasses too. But this rhetoric of, oh, every time something happens to a black person, as a white person's involved, it's racism. And we care about black people. And yet all this stuff going on in the community, every night, they ain't got shit to say and they ain't doing nothing about. It's productive because we're trying to find out what's going on, unlike you. What are you confused for? You haven't even been here long enough, clearly, or you're just ret, like I said. You all can go jump to all the conclusions that you want to, which doesn't help anything. It's not pushing anything forward. These people don't need it. And now, because it's not what you want to hear, now is what's the point? The point is that you either hear and you're going to be productive with the conversation or you can leave. That's it. Just because it's not what you want to hear, we don't give a damn about that. We don't give a damn about that. Y'all hear what you want to hear because you don't want to listen. You can be on Ben Crump's side and you can listen to Al Sharpton and you can go listen to Jennifer Lewis with her screaming ass looking crazy as fuck, or Eric Benet, or MC Light, no shade against Light though, or MC Light, or Tyler Perry, or Colin Kaepernick, to come out and say all this mess, but as soon as another crime happens tonight, if it hasn't happened yet, with a black person that's on out of here, not at the hands of a white person, you won't hear shit from them. Not a damn thing. It's a freaking grift as usual. They don't give a damn. Not one damn. But if y'all think those are your saviors, then you continue to utilize them. If any of y'all want this daggone GoFundMe, here you go. Put it right here. And make sure y'all with all the mouth and all the nastiness, donate to them. Make sure you go and donate to them. Anyway, shout out to y'all though. That's enough for me. I'm done for the day. Damn, it's been 2.5 hours. I feel like it's been 5. Anyway, hit the like button for me. Somebody said Jennifer Lewis, who was with an old ass white man for years, getting smutted out. Oh, I know you lying. I know you. Jennifer Lewis was with a white man. Oh no. Oh, don't make me go look this up and make a video on her. Oh, our people, and don't do this to our people. Come on, Uncle Alert. I like that. Thomas Abner. Thank you so much. Oh, that's cute. I saw it come up over here. I know you effing lying. Child, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, every single night and last weekend for sure. Child. Yeah, it's always these people that got so much to say and they so black conscious, and then they over here getting in bed with white people. Child, I'm done with this. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. Shout out to everybody that donated. I see you. I appreciate you. Shout out to the trolls, because all views matter. All views matter. We'll be back tomorrow doing something, child. I don't know. We shall see. Make sure you have notifications on. I see you. I appreciate y'all. I see you all.